Deontay Wilder. To this day.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
I promise you. Hey, don't quit. Hey, get your hand on my brother. You better get your hand on my brother. That's what you better do.
You guys stay back. We gotta take a picture. Stay back. Come on.
I'm gonna knock your ass out. I promise you that. I promise you that. You talking about how your people been fighting for 200 years. My people been fighting for 400. My people been fighting for 400. And still, life to the day. You think I'm gonna bring you up in here? You think
To this day. Boxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punches? I was hitting him with body punches and I heard him, actually he was crying in there. You were saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on?
Boxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
Beyonce Productions.
Making women gestures like,
Let's go, champ.
It's the champ. Shannon the champ with the fake champ. Vitaly Vladimir Klitschko.
Boxingvoice.com.
I'm gonna treat him like he's a C+ fighter. I'm gonna dominate. I'm gonna dog this fighter.
I'm talking about punishment. We're gonna punish you for 12 rounds. Either the referee says you had enough, or you can say you had enough, or you can stay your ass there all night until you ain't had enough.
I feel I'm the best in the sport, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. And all I did was beat opponents. I worked my way from the bottom to the top. I won a title by beating top competition and top fighters. This guy was handsome, paper champion.
Do you feel that you're the best super middleweight right now?
100%.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. Yeah. Ha-ha! Woo! Oh, man, I'm feeling this. Yeah. Yeah, that's my Floyd Mayweather ad-lib right there. Floyd versus Conor. Yeah. Oh, man. Yo, they had me worried, Mike. They had me worried. I thought it wasn't happening, but some unfinished business to attend to. And it looks like Deontay Wilder will be defending that WBC strap. Shout out Mauricio Suleiman. Rest in peace. Jose Suleiman is going down. No mention on the PBC side of that lineal strap. No mention of that lineal. But I received numerous press releases. ESPN. Shout out to ESPN being the first one to send me something. 11:59. Bing. I got something in the box. Shortly after, Kelly Swanson. Shortly after, what was it? Let me check. It was so many people. It was like 4 people. ESPN, CBS, everybody's on it. I checked the Instagrams. Everybody's on it. This is what I like to see. Now, look, we can't pat their back too much because they took a little bit of time to announce it, but I like that Fury posted it. I like that, PBC on Fox posted it. Premier Boxing Champions posted it. Deontay Wilder posted it. Press releases were sent. Now, I'm not going to get overly excited because we were promised something, huge. And I contacted Bob. I'm waiting for the answer back. Is he available for the day? Speaking of interviews, we will have Jay Deas, the trainer of Deontay Wilder. We'll have him on today. I reached out to a representative of PBC, but he's at the Gervonta Davis weigh-in. So, we won't have anyone from PBC. But we are trying, like I said, to get Deontay Wilder's trainer. And we should have him without a doubt. Maybe around 4:15. I'll go ahead and make a post for all my Patreons in case you want to ask Deontay Wilder's trainer something yourself. I also reached out to Mark Breland, see if we could get him on the show. Once he reaches out, if we're on long enough, I'll get all those guys on, man. I'm just happy this is official. I'm happy the announcement finally came. No more guessing. It's over. No more ducking. No more diving. It's over. It's time to get this fight and finally settle the score. Once and for all, who's better? Bragging rights. No more dossers. No more bums. This fight settles it all. February 22nd, MGM Grand Las Vegas is at the Garden, so there's not a cheap seat in the house, and I mean a cheap like in bad, not cheap as in low priced. I mean, there's not a bad seat in the house when you're at the Garden, so definitely a good thing that it's going to be at the Garden Arena. Obviously, Deontay Wilder, 42-0, one draw coming to Tyson Fury, and, he's 41, and he's got 41 knockouts, right? So Tyson Fury, 29-0. One draw, 20 knockouts. And I looked at that today once this was announced. I'm like, wow, this dude's got like a 66% knockout ratio. You can't really tell that. I know he just knocked out Schwartz, but I don't think we ever labeled him as a puncher. But over 50 is decent punching power. So let's get to some fantastic quotes. We do have some quotes from both parties.
Yo.
Oh, you here. I thought
Yeah. She ain't got here yet.
Okay.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Windows camp, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss, 2 to stand over.
Turn up.
Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
And I'm in.
Boxingvoice.com.
Boy, you about to choke your damn self over there. Yo. What up? And shout out to everybody out there in the TBV universe. Back with another one. Man, the moment we all been waiting for, man. The moment. When it's going to happen? When the announcement? We got one. Maybe not the announcement that we wanted, you know what I'm saying? We were promised or told something different, you know what I'm saying, about a global press conference that's going to be streamed everywhere. And that still could be the case, but I want to take my hats off to the guy who said it was going to be this week. He didn't miss any words. Frank Warren. When Frank Warren says something about Tyson Fury, I'm pretty sure, man, you can start taking it to the bank, man. Frank said it last time. The fight's going to happen. The first fight is going to happen. Fuck what Eddie talking about. It's going to happen. He told y'all last week there will be an announcement this week. And what do we got? We got it, man. MGM Grand, February 22nd. Biggest fight in heavyweight boxing. The 1 versus the 2. Best versus best. WBC title on the line. Ring magazine on the line. Everything up for grabs. And I'm ready.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely ready. Like I was telling them, man, the Garden is the perfect spot for this. Not a bad seat in the house. If anybody's at least been to the Garden for the weigh-ins, you know how good that is. It's just...
I was at the Canelo fight, which we all were, and I was on the second row. Man, beautiful, like, bro. I had a clear view of the ring, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was, like, 7 foot tall, like, 70 feet tall, I could probably, like, touch them or something, but the view was perfect, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a bad seat in the house at all.
Nah, man. Good location. Just, I need to see.
I can't say, though, you know what I'm saying? T-Mobile in Dallas Cowboys Stadium treated the handicapped person a little bit better than goddamn MGM did. I can't say that, though.
Nah, you're right. But that's also because T-Mobile and Dallas are newer facilities. MGM is a pretty old facility, so they probably wasn't ready. But all in all, happy that this finally got announced, man. To get it over with in terms of the doubt. We're a little bit, what are we, 5 days short? Damn, so it's 7 weeks, right? We're 7 weeks out. 7 weeks out. If it's 5 days short of the 22nd, we're 7 weeks out, bro.
We 8 weeks out from the 22nd. 8 weeks out. Starting today, starting on this Friday, it is 8 weeks to the 21st. So 8 weeks out, full training camp, and hopefully we get a 8 week run of nothing but Wilder Fury publicity. You know what I'm saying? Just platter everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, digital publicity. I don't think with the limited amount of time that they got for training camp, there's no time for promotion. I don't think they're gonna pull them from promotion for press conferences or multiple city press tours.
Yeah, I think Bob Arum and Finkel really shot that down. You know what I'm saying? The first time, you know what I'm saying? They didn't see the need of doing a multi-city press tour, which I think it makes for good entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Good visual excitement for the fans. But at the same time, it is kind of close, 8 weeks out, and with traveling and just going back and forth, it don't make sense right now.
Nah, man, it you know, if you don't want to lose, it don't make sense. You know, you don't want to be on the road. You want to get right into camp for this one. But we're going to go to Deontay Wilder's quotes, who says, "I'm happy and I'm excited that the rematch is finally happening. I want to give the fans what they want to see. I've been doing it with my last 3 outings. Fury, Brazil, and Ortiz. They've been spectacular events. From my ring walks to where I gather all the energy of the people, to my uniform that I wear to help spread that energy. Then I give them what they come for, the knockout. All my knockouts have been amazing. I proved myself the first time, and I'm ready to do it again. It was a very controversial fight, and I promise my fans that there won't be any controversy with this one. I'm going to finish it." Thoughts?
I love the confidence. I love the fact that he's adamant that he wants to rectify whatever controversy that people deem or seem to be out there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that from a confidence level, I love what I'm hearing, and from just a sheer competitive level, I love it even more. Like, bro, y'all think this motherfucker did a good job the first time? Get him back in the ring. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm gonna do to him. So from a competitive standpoint, I love it.
Shout out to Fury and Top Rank, wanting to face the best. Now we're going to Fury. There's no more ducking and diving. The date has been set, and the bomb squad is about to be securely detonated, and the real champion crowned as the world watches on for the most anticipated fight in years. This is unfinished business for me. But come February 22nd, this Dazn will finally get what's coming to him. And I can't wait. Now, I've seen other quotes where he talks about knocking him out. There's another quote somewhere, not on this press release, but another quote. Oh, shit, he dipped off. There's another quote somewhere where he talks about knocking him out. But I actually want to go to Wilder's IG because he posted his own. So let's see what his words were. But yeah, man, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. It helps us grow. And yeah, man, it's a way to put this show in front of the eyes of others. This way, you know, we get new and exciting characters that can call on to the show. So on Wilder's post, which I'll screen share, he has the Wilder World Championship, Fury 2, you know, all the information there. And then obviously it says after February 22nd, there will be no unanswered questions. I will finish what I started, and this time Tyson Fury at the Gypsy King will not be getting up off the canvas so quickly. I've proven myself time and time again, and I will do it again in February. Tickets for Wilder Fury 2, hashtag Wilder Fury 2, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas go on sale tomorrow, 12/28 at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, hashtag Bomb Squad, hashtag till this day. So, very, very, oh shit, look, Jeff Fitness follows on. That's my man's and them. Anyway. Yeah, man. So really excited, man. Really happy for these two guys that they were able to get this thing together, able to announce it. Honestly, now I just need some big time shoulder programming. I know we're not gonna get much in terms of like, you know, multiple city press tours and things like that. So they got to give us some good shoulder programming, man. Last time for Wilder's pay-per-view with Ortiz, he told me that the Fox cameras were in camp for 30 days straight. They did a 4-part series on him, and look, that had good numbers leading into the Ortiz fight. Ortiz fight didn't do the superstar numbers that we would have wanted, but, most executives say 250 is a safe zone. So Wilder came in at around 275 with the Ortiz, and that was one that people didn't want. This is the one we want. And I think it's going to generate more because people believe that he lost. So they're going to tune in to see can it happen again. Similar to the Andy Ruiz, except the, excitement level for the upset wasn't there. But all in all, happy for my champ, man, that he gets to go in there and try to rectify this wrong and create history, Moving from here, I would like to see undisputed. Obviously, there's major rumors of an immediate rematch. So we're just going to have to enjoy this fight and kind of forget about all negotiations and stuff like that. It's probably going to be hard to even talk boxing without talking Wilder and AJ now that Wilder is secured for a Fury fight with the rematch clause in it. That puts him off the table for pretty much all of 2020 unless this knockout is so fantastic, dramatic, amazing that Team Fury, Family Fury pulls the plug and says no more. That's enough, We can't take you getting hit like this much longer. We'll see, we'll see, because the other good thing about this fight, or the announcement of this fight, is that PBC on Fox right away put out about a 3-minute Instagram clip showing the 12th round, giving both guys credit. Multiple people, discussing it, kind of like they normally do with the PBC face-off. So it was Brian Campbell, Nick Canabito from CompuBox. Multiple people just, talking about that 12th round, talking about Fury getting up. They even saw it. Somebody said how Fury walked him down in that final round. So very honest. They're starting off very honest on the promotion level. I like that it was universal. Let me double check Top Rank, but I highly doubt that Top Rank didn't because, like I said, they sent out their own press release with their own graphic image, totally different from ESPN's. I mean, excuse me, not ESPN, but totally different from PBC's. So PBC and Fox are using the same, and Frank Warren and Top Rank are using the same. But yeah, Ring Magazine, don't forget, they have confirmed, if anybody who's into the Ring Magazine belt, I remember Danny won the Ring Magazine when he beat Amir Khan. Kind of hard to say that the winner of this fight is the Ring Magazine champion, because, you still got AJ out there with multiple belts, and he's had multiple events. And I don't know, are they saying that he has never earned the right to be called the true champ in the division? I don't know, but, this title will be on the line. Remember when we interviewed Wilder, he said he didn't want no lineal, and he doesn't want no franchise, and he doesn't care about no ring. But the ring is going to be on. Since Tyson Fury was ranked number 1 and Deontay is ranked number 2, the vacant Ring Magazine heavyweight belt will be contested in their rematch. And that's what I'm saying. So was this something convenient? Did they just rank Wilder and Fury number 1 and number 2? Was that after AJ took the loss? I don't understand how AJ was never eligible for that belt. But, regardless, that title's on the line, and Frank Warren is promoting. Look, since the announcement, Frank Warren 4 hours ago used their official image and information on his Instagram, and then there's been three posts since then, and all very detailed. A lot of graphic imagery and text. Getting the message across. Now, we want to see more, obviously, for those that don't live on the internet, right? So we need to see billboards. We need to see commercials. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I want to see how heavy that promotion is going to be. I know that Wilder has high expectations. He's got high expectations for this promotion. So did Bob Arum, who has yet to get back to me. Probably got a bunch of calls. Everybody want to talk to him right about now. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines, man. Mike had it cut out. He was getting an appointment from someone today, a meeting. So we'll go out to the phone lines, and we just want to hear what you guys got to say. I mean, the fight's announced, it's official. Let's do it.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
All right. We're going out to New Orleans. Joshua, talk to me.
Yes, I'm not ready. Come back to me, all right?
All right. JT, talk to me.
Hey, come back to me, Mike. I'm sorry. Come back to me, Neff.
I'm about to be out on y'all. Killer, talk to me.
Yo, Ness.
Come back to you.
This boy Tank just missed weight again.
Hey, man.
He stepped on the scale looking soft as fuck. Came in late too, man. He's an embarrassment. I mean, I love him as a fighter, but this is too much, man. He looking flabby and shit.
But is he gonna try and make the weight, or is it over?
Yeah, he has 1 hour to make weight, but still, man, this shit. He's starting to become Broder 2.0, man. This is crazy. Who are you talking to, bro?
Killer, hold on, where am I? Hello. Here we go. All right, guys, sorry about that. You know it's show business. So we got Lou DiBella. So give me 1 minute. I'll get right back to you. I got to connect Lou with the show. And have this fantastic interview. Lou, how are you? Sorry for the delay.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we do. Lou, you hear us?
Yeah, guys, I'm in a bad area. I just realized. Can you hear? I'll call you back in 2 minutes.
All right.
I'm gonna call you right back.
Okay. I heard him perfectly. Damn. Show business, guys. That was Lou DiBella. We'll get him on. I'm glad that he had time for us. He just had a death in the family, so I didn't know if he was 100% willing. He'll call me back. We're going out to Boomerang. Let me finish with. Are you still there, Killer? Killer dropped off. Okay, that means we go to Boomerang Bomb Boxing. Talk to me.
Listen, man, it's a fantastic day and got done. I mean, it's a good thing Deontay Wilder stays in the gym because this is a pretty quick turnaround for the fight he had. But, man, I'm just finally glad it's signed and it's done. Now we can get to big business. But you were 100% right. There's no way we can't talk about winner of this fight, fighting Anthony Joshua. We don't know what his next move is, but it's so quick to his fight that it doesn't make sense for him to get in the ring with anybody else and to take the winner of this fight, which will be Deontay Wilder by devastating knockout. But, yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm going to keep it short because I don't want to miss Lou. But I'll get back at you, brother.
All right. Yeah, man, let's hope he hits us back. He said he was going through some service issues there. We're going to go to Osiris Boxing. Oh, actually, there goes Lou. 1 moment. Mike, take it away.
What's going on, Lou? Mr. DiBella? Oh, my bad. I'm over here tripping. Now, look, man, I'm excited about the fight. I'm glad it was announced. I think Vegas is a perfect venue for it and bringing in
Mike,
the international crowd.
hate to interrupt. We got Lou. Lou, how are you?
I'm good, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for coming on, and our condolences. I know you suffered a loss in your family, and we just want to say, send our love and express our condolences, and obviously also, salute to you for still being willing to, come on and have an interview. So much boxing to talk about. I mean, I don't know, where would you want to start off?
Whatever you and the fans want, baby. This is the holidays. I'll talk about anything you want.
Now, what's going on, Lou? Mr. DiBella, Michael Gross here. Now, I would be remiss and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you this question. So I understand if you don't want to answer it, but we did have Shelly Finkel on about a month ago, and we asked him why you were no longer a part of the Deontay Wilder camp. Do you want to care to comment on that, or should we just leave it alone?
I don't know what Shelly said, but I don't know what Shelly said, so I got nothing to comment on
He
it,
said
but,
nothing bad. He said it was a mutual split.
Guys,
Mutual split is all he said. He kept it short, very short.
And spoke very highly of you.
Was it a mutual split? I guess when you don't see eye to eye on how to do things, I guess it is a mutual split. You know what I'm saying? I got no hatred to anybody. I at some point I want to sit down and talk one-on-one, man-to-man with Deontay and clear the air about some stuff. I think he owes me that. But that'll happen eventually. And I got no hatred toward the guy. That relationship served me very well for a long time. And I never had a written contract with Deontay. I was there because Deontay wanted me to be part of the team. And the team includes Shelly and Al and myself. That's what it included at the time. I'm who I am, man, and I'm not going to be somebody else for anybody. I don't care how powerful they are or who they are. And I always did what I thought was right for Deontay's interests. I always tried to serve Deontay's interests as well as I can. And I think that for the period of time we worked together, I think I was a good soldier for him. And then we hit a point in time where there were some disagreements. I thought some of the things I did and the moves I made helped Deontay Wilder. I still believe they helped Deontay Wilder and are continuing to help Deontay Wilder. But there was nothing ugly, and you didn't read anything ugly. You haven't seen anything ugly, and you're not going to hear anything ugly from me right now. We worked together for a long time, and I think it worked well for both of us. I don't think Al and Shelly wanted my participation, and I think they got what they wanted. But they're entitled to have their preferences too. They manage the guy, and he's loyal to them, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm getting philosophical in my old age, guys. Like what you can't control, you can't freak out about. And business and life are not the same thing all the time. You know what I mean? Deontay will always be somebody that I root for, and I got nothing but love for him. I may be pissed off a little bit about some things, but they'll get addressed in due time, and there's no bad feeling on my end. I wish everybody well, and I still think he's probably going to win on February 22nd. I think that if it goes the distance, Fury's going to win, but I just think that there's going to be that moment sometime in that 12 rounds where Tyson's got to pay the piper. But it's a great matchup on paper. It was an entertaining, really dramatic fight the first time. And I think it's going to be more of the same on February 22nd. And if you're a boxing fan, you want to see that fight.
Now, Lou, would you have liked to have seen this fight get announced a little bit sooner? We think we're exactly at 8 weeks out for this one.
I'm not working on it, so it's not really my business. I always believe in more lead time. I don't think that this is. That being said, look, Mayweather-Pacquiao was the biggest fight of all time, and it got made on shorter notice than this. So, if it takes off, and I think that the general boxing fan knows that this is a great fight. They need to cross over to sports fans and more casuals. But like they got two guys that know how to promote in Wilder and Fury that know how to promote themselves. It's a good matchup on paper, and they have time to build it into a big event. I mean, I think Bob's tripping with some of his forecasts of performance, but I still think it's a real big fight, and I think it's going to be.
You mean
supported
his
like a real big fight.
guesstimation of 2 million pay-per-view buys?
Yeah, I mean, Bob will be Bob. I mean, Bob's a great promoter, and he says a lot of shit. Some of it he means. I think it's a big fight. I don't really see. There's nothing out there at the moment right now that I see doing a couple of million homes, this included. But I think that there aren't a lot of fights any longer that have a meaningful chance of doing 1 million buys. And I think this one does. I think this one has a meaningful chance at breaking 1 million buys, and I think that would be great.
I want to go back real quick. Now, with the situation with Al Heyman and Shelly Finkel, has that had any effect on current business deals or future business deals that you guys might come together on?
Well, I mean, look, I'll do business with anybody. Al and I did a lot of business for a long time, and now we're not doing any. That probably is somewhat of a mutual decision, though I'm not. I mean, I'm willing to work with everybody, and if I'm able to make fights for my guys on PBC platforms and do a deal with Al, I would do one if it was in my fighter's interest. I would do that kind of deal immediately. I'm not going to get into what happened and right and wrong and everything else, because we live in a world where managers sometimes don't act like managers. They act like promoters, and promoters sometimes act like managers, and the whole business is sort of very confused. I'm open to doing business with everybody, including Al and PBC. Right now, it doesn't seem to me that the door is very open for me in the PBC universe. But again, man, they have their own world, and they're able to do what they want to do. I mean, it's not only the PBC world that's difficult for me to navigate. It's difficult for me to navigate the DAZN world when I'm not when I don't have an output deal. It's difficult for me to navigate the ESPN deal when I don't want to turn my fighters over to Bob and Top Rank, no matter how good a company they may be, and they are. It's not easy all over the place. So I'm not pointing. I made a decision to be in this business, and I've succeeded for 30 years by navigating the universe as it is. And right now, things are what they are, and I got to make the best of doing business in the situations that are in front of me. I'm willing to do business with anybody, including Al. I got Al and I have been friendly for 20 years plus. Obviously, we're not doing business together very much anymore. I sort of think I am persona non grata in the PBC world today. I don't really fully get it, but at the same time, I do get it. I've never been, and I'm not a sham promoter. If I'm asked to promote something, I do it my way, and I do it the best I can. And if we're doing business where we're agreeing that we want to work together because we're able to meet each other's expectations, then you continue to do business with somebody. If you no longer feel like the other person or the people you're doing business with that it's smooth sailing and it's a situation that you're comfortable in, then it makes sense that those business dealings are not what they were. And right now, that's a situation. But I'm not hating on anybody. I'm the big boy, and I'm sure if something popped up where Al and I felt it made sense to do something together, that we would.
Now, did that situation hinder the Tevin Farmer situation? Because we know that was a fight that was available for Tevin and Gervonta to mix it up, and now it seems like we might not get that. I've talked to Leonard Ellerby where he says that the B side.
There's not. Tevin's going to fight JoJo at the end of January, but after that, Tevin's got to win that fight. That's a tough-ass fight. And JoJo's going to present the real challenge. But, when Tevin wins that fight, we're going to pursue everything. And, a move up in weight to fight Gervonta is certainly something that we would consider and pursue. And I'm able to do business with, Floyd and Leonard and myself are cool. Al and I may not be doing business, but we don't hate each other. I respect Al more than I respect a lot of people in boxing, and I tend to think that he feels the same way about me. And if something makes sense, we're going to get it done. Hey, look, if there was a meaningful game plan, and I could make a plan for a Regis Prograis, in the PBC world that made sense for Regis, I would pursue. I'm going to pursue what's in the best interest of my fighters across the board. I'm not going to let my inability or not inability because I'm able to work with anybody, but I'm not going to let my desire maybe not to work with somebody hurt the people I'm representing. In this marketplace, in the way the boxing business is right now, I have to present as many opportunities to my fighters as I can, and I have to be willing to work with everybody. And you also have to look at how complicated the marketplace is. Mikey Garcia just made a 1 or 2 fight deal with Eddie. He's coming over to fight Vargas, and I think there's a first and last on the next fight. Ramirez is a top ranking ESPN. He's got a mandatory scheduled, and he already made a contract for a second mandatory, so he's not going to be available to Regis most of 2020. I got to look around the marketplace and then make a deal that reflects the best possibilities, for the fighter. And because of the nature of who's got the champions, who's most heavily invested in particular weight classes, for example, a 54 and 47 pound fighter, there's a lot more action at PBC. At 40 now with, Hooker and Mikey Garcia and maybe Josh Taylor being at the zone, that's going to create a lot of opportunities for Regis at 140. You got to do things strategically, and you got to be open to doing business with everybody. I think that if you don't have an output deal and you don't have your own platform, you'd be doing a disservice to yourself and to your fighters if you didn't handle it that way.
Speaking of your own platform, now you said that you weren't willing to turn over your fighters to Top Rank. Was that a prerequisite for them to do business with you?
For the most part, for the most part, you're giving up. If they're interested in a champion, they'll do a deal with you. And look, I'm not complaining. I can't complain where I've done a deal with somebody else. If I put my signature to the paper and I bind my fighter into a situation, I'm doing that because it's the best opportunity then available to me. So to turn around and then complain is sort of, not fair on one hand. On the other hand, what choice do you have? If I have to give up future rights to put my guys on ESPN, then I have to look at that as part of the deal that's being offered. If I have to, work with Eddie or turn over my asset to Eddie to get a date at the zone, that's what I have to do. If, that being said, doesn't mean I like it. Doesn't mean I think it's fair. But if I'm doing it, I can't really bitch much about it because I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep it real. I can't on one hand say, oh, this is fucked. Fuck Eddie. I don't want to have to do business with Eddie, and then I'm doing a deal with Eddie. If I'm doing a deal with Eddie at the moment I'm doing that deal, it's because I think it's the right thing for my company and the fighter. Now, in a perfect world, do I think all these platforms should really be open to everybody? Yeah, man, that's how I've always believed, open competition is the best thing for any marketplace and any type of sport or any programming or anything, the ability of people to work with one another freely usually results in the best programming, usually results in the best fights, right? I mean, we're still getting some good fights, and I don't think you can bitch and say, oh, we're not getting any good fights. We had a lot of good fights last year. But there's certainly a lot of situations that are frustrating where it's very clear that certain fights that really should be made are not happening because there are 3 different streets, quote unquote, and a lot of people hesitant to cross streets.
Definitely.
I want to kind of go back real quick, you know what I'm saying, and get us a reaction to Anthony Joshua coming back and getting the victory over Andy Ruiz, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people.
Well, wait. Before you change topics, I thought you wanted to stay on.
I got nothing but respect for. I got nothing but respect for how AJ handled the shit. Nothing. I think he handled everything pretty much the way he needed to. He went back to his roots. He boxed. He fought smart. He didn't give a shit what anyone thought about him or his performance. He did what it took to get his belt back. He was patient. He had a good game plan. He executed it. You know, was it exciting? No. Did I enjoy watching it? No. But that doesn't matter. Like, his job was to go out there and win his belts back, and he did that. And he handled himself like a champion. He prepared incredibly well. He was in incredible shape. He was way looser and more liquid, more fluid than he was in his previous performances. He didn't look as robotic as he did when he was more bulked up. Like, I saw positive things, even though it was boring. I saw some great positive things out of Joshua's performance in that fight. And I was disappointed in Andy, but, you know, Andy will live to fight another day, and hopefully he'll learn a lesson, you know.
Lou, with all your background in being a network executive for HBO and then promoting on all levels of the sport, how hard is it for you to lobby Showtime to maybe lead off or be at the helm of a ShowBox series, another boxing, HBO Boxing After Dark series? Like, I love what you're doing with UFC. It's just so difficult to get to it.
I've sat down and talked to Steven, who I respect a number of times, and I've tried to sell myself on you know, doing more stuff, you know, with a Showtime. You know, Steven's got you know, big obstacles he's got to deal with. I know he wants to keep Showtime programming at the highest level. He's got a big fight this weekend, even though I think I know who's going to win the Davis fight. It's still Davis is a star. It's still a promotable fight, and I think it's getting some interest this weekend, and it's a good fight for, you know, for Showtime. But Showtime's it's hard for them to compete with the crazy money of a DAZN. It's hard for them to compete with pay-per-view, because ideally they want to have a lot of those fights now that are going on pay-per-view. They would like to have live on Showtime. It's challenging for premium cable right now. You know, you're competing with streaming services that are willing to invest some money and lose some money in the attempt to build something for the future. And Steven's trying to maintain something for the present. You know, his game plan's focused on what he's delivering Showtime subscribers right now. So it's not easy for him, and I understand that. I mean, look, I just had a long meeting with you know, Steven and I have been discussing Regis Prograis, and it'd be pretty easy for Steven to make a deal to do Regis' next fight. But the concern that Steven has is getting the big fight after that, and it's not so easy for him to get the big fight when Regis' potential opponents are all tied up with another streaming service or network. You know what I mean? So then Steven's like, well, I can give you a couple of fights and we can get Regis, rebuild Regis, but then where's my gold ring kind of fight? Where's the big fight at the end of the tunnel? And because of the fact that fighters are locked into deals with competing services, etc., it's not always easy to come up with that game plan if you're a Showtime or anybody else in the marketplace looking to compete.
And so he's just not interested in a show box series because budget-wise, that has to be cheaper than Charlo's and Gervonta Davis's.
No, I mean, he's interested in. He's still doing Showbox, and Showtime Showbox is still a good series. Do I understand why Demetrius Salita seems to have all of them? No. And would I like to be doing more Showbox stuff with Showtime? Yes. They know that, and I hope that in 2020 I'll do a few more Showboxes. And I think that Showboxes are a nice component of what Showtime does. But I understand why they've had a big platform and a big brand in Showtime Championship Boxing for a long time. And I don't think they're willing or desiring of giving up that series, I'm guessing they'll do more smaller shows, but I know that they have a great interest on delivering star power and delivering stars to their audience. And I know that that's something that Steven's very, focused on. And it's one of the reasons why I would look to him to see the opportunity to build, a star like Regis Prograis. If that tournament didn't promise Josh Taylor's people that the final was going to be in England, and that exact same fight took place in the United States, I tend to think the exact same fight would have resulted in a different result someplace else. I'm not saying it was an unfair decision. It was just a very close fight. And certainly every advantage was to Josh Taylor, who fought the entire tournament at home. But hey, stuff happens. I don't think anything less of Regis as a fighter or an attraction or a potential star. I don't think any less of him now than I did before that fight. And I think that some network or streaming service is going to have a real star on their hands if they see the vision that I'm trying to convey and get behind Regis in 2020. And I think that he still has all the tools and all the abilities to be a transcendent star. He's got more charisma than almost any fighter in boxing.
Is there any fighter in your stable that you look at and say, man, this guy right here could be the next special thing in boxing outside of Regis Prograis? You know what I'm saying? Any up and coming fighter like a Stephen Shaw or somebody like that?
I think I got a bunch of heavyweights that can make some noise and do some things. I think Shaw has always been a quality heavyweight. I think he's coming into his own right now, and heavyweights tend to come into their own a little bit later. I think 2020 is going to be a real big year for Stephen. I think he can beat and compete with anyone in the division. I don't think he's a no-hoper against anyone. And I feel the same way about the two kids from New Zealand. I want to see Junior Fa healthy in 2020 and active. But he's got all the tools. He's 6'7", he's a giant. He's got a good jab and good skills. And this kid, Hemi Ahayo, out of New Zealand, it might be the hardest puncher I've ever worked with in the heavyweight division other than Deontay Wilder. And I think he can make a lot of noise. And then the big Uzbek, Shalalov. And right now he's debating as to whether or not he's going to compete for Uzbekistan in the Olympics, which his contract allows him to do. But I absolutely think he could beat a top 5 guy right now. I think Shalalov could compete after he's had 5 or 6 pro fights. I already think he's able to compete with the highest levels of the heavyweight division. So I have a lot in the heavyweight division that I'm focusing on. Conwell had a tragic year. He was part of that whole Patrick Day, the loss of Patrick Day, and that terrible night. But Conwell, I think, came into his own as a fighter this year. He's going to have some challenges that most fighters don't have to deal with. There's no question when your opponent dies as a result of a fight you participated in, that's a heavy, heavy thing. But I think the kid is super talented. When I graded that last Olympic class, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to compete for Shakur when he won the medal. I knew the money was going to be crazy. I thought Shakur was a great prospect, but I sort of took him off my board. And the guys that I was the most focused on promoting after the last Olympics were Teofimo, Lopez, and Conwell. And Teofimo wound up with Top Rank, and I wound up promoting Conwell. But I really do believe that Charles has got world champion written all over him. I want to make sure we're going to get him back in the ring really quickly, quietly in early 2020, just to get not a lot of fanfare to get in the ring again, and maybe just get some more comfort level, and then get him back by April or so into another major step up. And I think Charles easily has the ability to compete with the champions at 154 right now. I think right now he's a legit top 10 contender.
Now, look, we recently had a fight last weekend with Jamel Charlo and Tony Harrison. I thought Tony Harrison was doing a great job, boxing, using combination,
man, I got to tell you something. I was blown away by how well Tony was boxing in most of that fight. I thought a lot of that fight was brilliant boxing by Tony. But you know what, man? You can't make a mistake when you're fighting that kind of fight. And he made a mistake, and that was it. That was it. Over. You can't make a mistake against Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo is a lion. He is a young beast. He's got flaws in his game, but he's dangerous as hell. And you can't make a mistake. If you're going to box him, and you're going to think you're going to beat him by avoiding him and outboxing him, you can't afford to make a mistake. And Tony made a mistake, and that was that.
I agree with everything you said, Lou. Everything, every detail. But when we see up until the knockout comes that two judges had Charlo winning, where do we start to hold people accountable for their scorecards, Lou?
We don't hold people accountable. We're not going to start holding people accountable because 99% of the people writing about boxing right now work for somebody, and everybody's got a conflict and everybody's got a stake in the game as it now exists. And including everybody. When I say everybody, I mean managers, promoters, fighters, everybody. But we sit down and we tolerate straight out fucking bullshit. We tolerate it, and by tolerating it, we encourage it and we allow it to continue. And you know what? Because the fight's close doesn't mean you don't know who the fuck was winning. Because the fight's close doesn't mean you don't know who won. And we sit there, it was a close fight. Well, fuck you. The other guy won. So what? It was a close fight. I mean, what annoys me about the scorecards a lot of times is if you could sit there and literally take three little kids and put them in the judges' seats, and at the end of the fight, take a vote of the crowd and ask them to tell you who won the fight. And then I would trust those three little kids more than I would trust the judges that are politically connected to ratings organizations, to managers, to promoters, judges got a lot of different influences on them. And there's got to be a reason that so many fucking decisions stick.
I couldn't say no better myself, man.
Absolutely. Well, Lou, man, definitely appreciate the time. Actually, you've been talking Regis a lot, and we had Bob Arum on here not too long ago, and he mentioned Regis as a great opponent for Crawford. Is that something you would be interested in, or would you rather see Regis finish campaigning at 40, or did you not speak of it because, like you said, Bob wants control of the fighter?
Top Rank has a lot of fighters right now of their own, and I've gone to them and had numerous discussions about Regis, for a very simple reason. I do what my fighter and his management asks me to do, and Regis is, Regis and Sam Kikoski, Pete Berg, the management, they want to know what their possibilities are. They've always wanted to fight Ramirez. Ramirez is the Top Rank. Bud Crawford has been a dream fight for Regis in his head for years. It's been something that he's aspired to when he's ready to move up to 47. So obviously Bud doesn't have a lot of opposition in the Top Rank universe. at 147. So, if Regis comes back at 40, reestablishes himself as the best, and I still think Regis is the best 40-pounder in the world. I truly believe that. I would do a deal if there was a multi-fight situation where I could bring back a comeback fight to Regis, a Ramirez fight, and then if he wins that Ramirez fight, a Crawford fight. That would absolutely be something that we would be interested in, and I would present to Regis and his management. Right now, I have no offer from Top Rank to present. They told me that they need to look at dates, and they need to satisfy their own fighters before they do a deal for somebody else. So, it's been the holidays. I haven't pressed too hard. Come next week when we get back to work after the New Year, I'll be pressing very hard because I need to get Regis to the ring by April.
Let's say we live in a alternate
universe. Look, I'll throw out some scenarios. We could go fight one of the 140 pounders that Top Rank has in their stable that follow it up with Ramirez and look to a Crawford in the future. We could go to PBC and fight Mario Barrios for the BA 40-pound title, which would be a big fight. And then the winner of that fight could fight Broner. And whenever you think of Broner, that's a big fight. And, we could go to Dazn and fight a Mo Hooker or whoever else is available at 140 right now, because we know that Taylor and Ramirez are not available, but Regis will fight anybody. So we can go there and fight, one of Golden Boy's guys at 40 or one of Eddie's guys at 40, and then look at Mikey Garcia, Mo Hooker, Josh Taylor. There's a lot of different avenues we could take. But, Regis is going to sit. He's chomping at the bit. I'm getting videos of him working out on Christmas Eve at 3 in the friggin' morning. He's sharp. He wants to fight, and I'm not going to let him sit past April.
For the past couple of weeks, we have like a number of callers.
By the way, I want to throw another one at you. I'm puzzled looking at the zone and looking at Eddie's stable of fighters and DAZN's fighters. I'm puzzled why I can't get a Derevyanchenko situation at the zone right now, because you would figure that would naturally be the place. I mean, if anyone doesn't want to see Triple G and Derevyanchenko fight again at some point, then I don't think they like boxing.
Triple G doesn't want to see that.
Exactly.
Well, he certainly doesn't want to see it in his next fight, but that doesn't. I've never seen Triple G run away from anybody. And by the way, I thought my guy won the fight. I think you guys thought my guy probably.
He already ran away from Derevyanchenko like 2 years ago when he dropped the belt.
And he mandated to fight Charlo, and he said no.
Well, look, man. Styles make fights. I've been watching Billy Joe's fights, and he's a very talented guy. But the American public ain't screaming for Billy Joe Saunders against somebody. And Callum Smith, honestly, I didn't think Callum Smith beat Ryder. So, I don't really understand why everyone's running around thinking that somehow one of those fights is gonna, I'd rather see Canelo fight Derevyanchenko than fight Billy Joe. Personally, Styles will make fights.
Maybe if he had the belt, but he ain't just giving Derevyanchenko a shot.
Well, but by the way, that's one of the great things of boxing. You fuck the guy who's not supposed to win. So the star fighter just wins a close fight automatically, right? So you fuck the guy that had his great night and went to war and did everything he was supposed to do, and then he gets fucked, and then because he gets fucked, then he doesn't have the belt, so why fight him? So instead of making, again, the best fight you can make, go to the guy who arguably didn't win his last fight, won his last fight in a robbery, or looked like shit, and give him the next fight because he doesn't have a blemished record, or he has some kind of bullshit piece of hardware that a dozen other people in his weight class are also claiming they have. We got to do better than this shit, man. We do. We gotta change our thinking a little bit.
I agree, man. Lou, how can we get rid of the WBA? I know it's probably bad of you to take a stance because you may need them, but five titles per division.
Regis was a WBA champion. Don't ask to get rid of WBA.
I'm just saying, 5 titles per division. They're oversaturating. They're watering it down. I mean, at this point, I'm begging for someone to ignore the WBA and just go at the IBO, who at least is a secondary title with just 1 title.
Yeah, but you know what, man? It's getting crazier and crazier with all like the WBA. You said it. I didn't. I'm not gonna jump in there because it's not gonna do anything positive for me to reiterate what you just said. Though I'm not disagreeing with you, but I actually think this is a day and age that where all the ratings organizations, you got to look at the whole system. I think the system is broken, and it's more broken because now you got to see. You always had alphabets, right? The BA, the BC, the BF, the BO, the BA, the whatever the fuck, okay? But now you got even more important. You always had other important initials, but now the initials are almost their own worlds. And you have DAZN and PBC and ESPN, Top Rank, and those initials combined with the ratings organizations and mandatories are complete horseshit. If you want to, and a lot of writers have written this lately, look, sometimes you have to use the system to try to build your guy who's a deserving challenger into a mandatory, because otherwise he's not going to get an opportunity. And Derevyanchenko showed the world why he was a legitimate mandatory in his 2 fights against Danny Jacobs and Golovkin. And he used that system. We used that system for him to his benefit, but it was deserved. He was legitimately one of the best middleweights in the world. But now, when a promoter doesn't have a big fight for a fighter, now all of a sudden, well, we need to fight our mandatory, and the WBA or the BAC or the IBF, they're insisting that we fight our mandatory, and there are mandatories that look like they can barely stand up. There are mandatories that just aren't deserving, that you wonder how the hell they got there. But then again, there are some that we never heard of that go into a fight, and then they prove, okay, well, this guy earned it, this guy can fight. But the whole system right now, I think, of ratings organizations, the whole system of closed networks and closed streaming services, it's not serving the greater interest of boxing. It's not fair. It's not good for fighters at large. And it's certainly not good for anybody that doesn't control their own streaming service or network budget.
Well, all right, Lou, man, I want to thank you, obviously, for the time. It was a fantastic interview, a lot of insight. We do appreciate your time, and if you want to give out your social media for any of these crazy listeners that aren't following you, can do so.
Whoa. I'm sorry. It just came back to me. Lou, in an alternate universe, whatever, how would you promote Terrence Crawford and get him these big fights that he wants? Because we got callers calling in saying Terrence Crawford needs to fight somebody on the level of a Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, etc.
Look, part of the problem right now, honestly, first of all, Crawford's making a lot of money. It's not like you have to cry for Sean for Bud Crawford. I mean, for the guys he's been fighting, Crawford has made an extraordinary living. I'm pretty convinced that Bob could make deals that would send Crawford to other streaming services, but that's very hard to do with a pound-for-pound fighter. So I'm not going to jump on Arab for that, but I think there's got to be more creativity to get a better B-side or a co-A side, to get a fight for Crawford that Bud really views as a challenge and that the public views as an attraction. And, you know, I to some extent, I don't remember which fighter said this, but one of the fighters, I don't know if it was Bud or Porter, said, if we want to make a fight badly enough, Bob and Al aren't going to stop it from happening. I actually agree with that. If they want it badly enough, they could probably make it happen.
I mean, Wilder definitely made it happen, right? He's fighting Tyson with and it's co-promoted. How do you feel about that? Because I would have rather liked to see Fox pay-per-view, ESPN pay-per-view, where I could just grab my remote, purchase it right on the cable box, not have to go to an app. Are they shooting themselves in the foot?
Is it Fox or is it Showtime?
No, it's Fox.
It's Fox, okay.
It's Fox pay-per-view co-promoted with ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
Yeah, but you're still going to be able to get pay-per-view. I mean, you don't have to get it through Plus. You could still get it. I'm guessing. I didn't see the press release, but I'm sure you'll be able to get it the same way you normally get a pay-per-view.
If it's like the UFC, if you don't have Plus, you can't buy the pay-per-view. That's how the UFC does it. You gotta have Plus.
But that's through ESPN. I'm sure you can get it on TV through Fox.
I'm sure that there's. I'm guessing. I haven't seen the announcement. Has there been a press release yet?
No, there is a press
be
release.
An ordinary. And does it say you could only? I'd have a hard time believing that you could only get it through the ESPN app.
No.
I don't think that's true.
No,
is
it's Fox pay-per-view and ESPN Plus pay-per-view. So for ESPN, they're the B-side in this. If you read through this press release, comb that up, you can see that they're the B-side. Everything Fox goes first, Wilder goes first, his quotes go first, and then it's ESPN Plus rather than ESPN pay-per-view. ESPN Plus means only app if you're going to purchase it through ESPN. If you're going to purchase it through Fox, you can buy it on your cable box. You can buy it on Fox app, streaming app. All
right, but I guess what I would ask this: what does a fan give a fuck as long as they're watching the fight? Whether they care about how they buy it?
Only because I think you get more buys.
I guess you could elect
on the cable box.
Elect to buy it. I guess you could elect to buy it. You could elect to buy it through the ESPN Plus app, or you could elect to buy it by the normal pay-per-view activation you would normally do, right? Through Fox. So I don't think it really matters on that front.
Well, all right, Lou, those are all our questions, man. I know we said that about 5 times. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, obviously.
Happy holidays, man, and thank you so much.
Happy holidays to everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, I can jump out.
There you have it, world-renowned promoter Lou DiBella, formerly promotes Wilder, did in the past, promotes Regis Prograis, and a list of others.
Yes, man. Fantastic interview. Thank you, Lou, for coming on. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in, for listening. If you could just do us a favor and hit that thumbs up button, just a tiny little favor. Just hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. It ensures that we keep getting these big name guests. Listen, that was a on the fly thing. Had it not been on the fly, I would have definitely put out a post on Patreon. Had you guys ask those questions that only you can come up with. But yeah, man, let's go out to the streets. I'm gonna still cut out and try and get Deontay Wilder's trainer. He did say he would be available, and we're pretty much late now, so hopefully he's still available. We had cut off Osiris MMA, I believe.
What's going on, Osiris?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Take it away.
Hey, really good fight. I'm glad this is finally happening. I wanted to give you guys a shout out. I mean, you guys have been doing an immense amount of work during the holidays. So I wanted to know, Ness, maybe you can put something on your Patreon as to how companies can do a custom donation, like a one-off donation for companies, right? So something for you to think about. Peace out.
All right. That was Osiris. Thank you for calling in. I don't even know. I don't even know what the...
I mean, what kind of, is it like clothing, or is it like boxing gloves, or is it like...
he hung up.
It was Osiris. He wants to donate something, and maybe we can give it away. If I got the gist right.
Yeah. Oh, man, listen. Whatever helps the team. We're going to go out to... Did we? Oh, yeah, he said go back to him. All right, so we're going out to New Orleans, Joshua.
What up, Josh?
Hey, Look, Ness, somebody keep dropping us off the calls. I just got had to come back in, and they doing it with my brother right now.
I
So
mean,
I'm just letting you know. No,
everybody on there
I'm letting you know.
is people y'all know. So I don't know.
Nah, they
Yeah, I'm too
dropping the
grown for
calls.
that shit, man.
I'm watching
I'm too
it go
grown for that
back and
shit, man.
forth. So I'm just letting you know what's going on. But I'm glad you went to me after the interview. That was one of the best interviews I heard on this show. He dropped a lot of knowledge in the game, and you could tell he'd been in the game for so long because he kind of just called it straight out. I'm like I said, I have no opinion on this. Like I'm a fan of whatever Wilder doing. Wilder carry himself like a true champion. He moving like a true champion. He getting the fights he need to be getting. He going across the street. He making the fights happening. He putting himself out there. And, doing what he's supposed to be doing. So I really ain't got no complaints about it. The ticket sales. I hope they do well. I hope it do great. I honestly think it's going to be one fight. I don't think Fury gonna make another rematch with Wilder because I think it's gonna be one fight and done. I do have a question I want to ask Mike, and this I noticed that when y'all asked him and his opinion, and he said something about fighters not going across the street. What did you get from that, Mike, on this?
I mean, pretty much simple. He said he's pretty sure that Bob Arum could come up with a package that sends Crawford across the street,
No,
but like,
not that one. Not that one. He was
okay,
just speaking freely, and he was asked. I think he came across and said something about fighters going across the street and not crossing streets. He wasn't really making it a reference to nobody. He just made this the blank statement while he was.
I will have to
okay.
hear it back. You remember that, Mike?
Yeah, yeah. If it was a fight to be made, you know what I'm saying, then pretty much make the fight. You know what I'm saying. He's not saying that you have to sign a long term deal to necessarily get a fight across the street.
I mean, Mike ain't signed no long term deal.
Exactly. Perfect example, right?
But I mean,
right
with
there.
PBC, I don't mean the obvious DAZN deal. His deal with PBC wasn't long term. It was the same thing he got with DAZN. One off, and we get the last match right. So, you just got to know how to negotiate, man. You're only as good as what you can negotiate, man. So, and look, we talked about it earlier, man. Some people probably just comfortable, man. Elijah, talk to me.
What
I mean,
Elijah?
even Lou insinuated that. His first statement was Crawford gets paid a lot of money to fight those guys over there. Come on, bro. That the fuck? You got to be dumb not to know what that means. Elijah, talk to us.
So yeah, I'm excited about the fight. I think Fury's a dickhead because he fights bums all the time and took shit. And Wilder's just I don't dislike Wilder. Yeah, my problem with Wilder is the energy he talks with, saying, if you got the balls, come and fight me. And then he keeps stuck in career high paydays. Do you know what it is, Wilder? I'm going to tell you guys, I ain't said this before. I don't think anyone's come at this angle before. Yeah. I used to be a professional soccer player in my country, and I had envy.
Damn, he dropped off. I don't know what's going on. I think they over here beefing with each other on Skype, man. I'm gonna go out to the landline. Y'all hanging up on people over there. Davidian, man, talk to us.
Hold on. I'm on the phone. Hello?
Yeah, what up, Davidian?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on? What's up, Nash?
What's up, brother? Talk to us.
Damn.
You wildin', bro. We're gonna come back to you. Rod in the 870, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, I'm in Walmart. Come right back to me, all right? Come back to me in like 5 minutes, okay?
Man, y'all about to get left. Y'all want me to work overtime. I ain't get a super chat yet. Had Lou DiBella on. Lou damn near told the whole story, Mike. He ain't told nobody that story yet. Think we get some love? We ain't get a damn. Actually, J-Mac. Thank you, J-Mac. At least he said he liked the interview. Jeez Louise. Where's the love? Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Na, 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 na. Let me, where we going to start at from? Did we go to Colorado? Actually, I got to go to Boomerang Stainless. Sorry, I'll be back to you, Colorado. Stainless.
Motherfucker murder, mayhem, last words of the stainless. Told you I would kill you, squeeze after I aim it. If you're talking money, then you're speaking my language. Or shut the fuck up in grown folks' conversation.
TBV back up in this bitch. What's good?
What up, champ?
Yo, Mike, you still there too?
He dipped off. He'll be back.
Yo, either way, man, good interview with Lou. I jumped off to jump on Skype, so I wasn't really on YouTube to give my thumbs up for the. Well, I already gave my thumbs up on YouTube, but to thumbs up the interview though, you know what I'm saying? I thumbs up as soon as I get on YouTube. I don't understand what other niggas' problem is. You know what I'm saying? The numbers ain't reflecting the views, so y'all niggas bullshit and need to stop shoplifting. But on to my point with the show, I'm excited to hear about it being made official. But that DiBella interview, man, I don't know what question that was Mike asked him that made him go on that tangent about them judges, man. But I appreciate him giving them facts like that, man. It only gives more to the debate and argument that I'm sure we'll have after this show and after many more. But, you know what I'm saying, it's good to hear somebody else actually, you know what I'm saying, speaking cadence to that, you know what I'm saying, and how the judges are influenced by everybody else on the outside. But I didn't know that Lou had left Wilder, though. I didn't get to hear that Shelly Finkel interview, man. So that's kind of breaking news for me, man. I heard a little bit. Because I know they've been together for a while, but it's good to see that it ain't got nothing to do with Lou and Deontay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with Lou and Al, but I hope they work that out.
Nah, he actually said that he want to talk to Deontay. He said Deontay that he feels. He said he feels that he deserves that from Deontay to get a sit down. So
yeah, 1-on-1. Now I was gonna ask you before we got the callers, like, what do you think happened? Because it seemed like everything.
I know
was
what
going,
happened. Come on, Mike. How you don't know what happened?
It was going good.
It always goes good. Somebody got to get cut. Somebody got to get cut off the roster when the checks increase, because that means your check increased too. And it ain't that I'm counting your pockets, but at the end of the day, I'm paying you. I'm the fighter, so I'm paying you. So I got to count your pockets. And I'm looking at that shit like, hold up. I'm the one risking my life, and you telling me I got to cut this man. How much out of this $20 million I just made for Brazil? Oh, and you want another cut out of this $20 million? Oh, hold up. Wait. For my niggas that think that's not enough. That ain't enough money, man. Well, it's only one man getting in the ring. I get what look, it got to be that in my opinion. Yeah, but that's just me guesstimating over here. You know how
I would probably agree with you.
Yeah, man, you know how that go. Let's see. We got Arkansas in the building. It's looking like JR. Talk to us.
What up, Fayetteville?
Yeah. Hello. Man, I don't think that Dylan Wilder and Tyson gonna fight.
What?
If I was Dylan White, I'd be training now, because when Tyson pull out, that's gonna be Dylan White's chance to get in there. So he need to get in shape.
Oh, you think Tyson gonna pull you think Tyson gonna pull a Vladimir on us when he signed to fight Vlad?
He's not gonna fight Dylan White. Yeah, Dylan White need to be in shape now, so he can get his shot.
All right then. Well, thanks for calling in, JR.
Yeah, JR.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what we got. Ringer Killer, talk to me.
Yo.
That was a very good interview, guys, with Lou DiBella.
Thank you.
Very, very impressive. A lot of information. Yeah. I mean, the Deontay Wilder Fury fight it's official now for 22nd February, right?
Yes, it is. Tickets on sale tomorrow at Ticketmaster and what's the other place? AXS or something like that.
What are the betting lines at the moment?
Yesterday, Deontay Wilder was a plus 100 on mybookie.ag, which you can use BetTBV's promo code. He's a plus 100. So if you believe in the right hand from God, you can make some good money.
He was an underdog when I checked on the Swedish betting sites as well. So I mean,
you need an American friend, my friend.
Yeah, nah, bro.
I'm your American
money
friend.
On DraftKings right now.
Yeah, he plus money on DraftKings, MyBookie, and FanDuel. That's just how we like it
Wow.
too. Just how we like it.
Hey, I put my little bet in already.
Yeah, you gotta lock that in with a smile.
And I mean, I love Deontay, but I mean, he had some difficulties in the first fight. We have to call a spade a spade. You know,
Hey,
that
man.
wasn't an easy fight for him at all.
Put your money on Fury.
No, I mean, he looked terrible this year. So
Put your money on Fury.
going off this year's performances, Deontay is clearly. I mean, he has the momentum going forward, of course.
Well, that is the 130. Let me get to Stone Bone. Actually, Stone Bone. Damn, I know I did that to you twice now, but
Hey,
no in
bro,
the
let me ask
cut.
you a question, man.
What?
I want to say my kitty over here looking pretty good and shit, man. Like
I know. I see you won some football games the other
Yeah,
day.
I'm having a problem, like, cause for some reason it won't come out my account to go into my PayPal. Do you deposit yours into your PayPal or right to account?
Nah. I mean, yeah. I remember I took mine out cash, and I wired it, to my account once. But also when you charge in your account with a PayPal, they make you buy a gift card. Right from them though, but it's free though. So you still go to the thing, you go to deposit, and they just gonna send you a gift card in the mail that's already empty because you used it.
Bet.
So that's probably how they'll send you your money too if you want to get it in the gift card maybe. All right, No, talk to us.
Ooh, look, check this out, bro. We just speaking on the fight being made,
Is
like the fight being
announced,
announced.
is official. Tickets on sale tomorrow. It's pay per view on Fox. It's also pay per view on ESPN Plus. Yeah, man, it's the real deal. It's going down.
I'm gonna try to
And it's
meet
in
that
Las
fight, dog.
Vegas. And it's in Las Vegas MGM Grand Arena.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to meet that one, dog. I don't know. I'm gonna see. Damn, bro. Like right close to the holiday time and shit for me. You hear me? I don't know. I'm gonna try to make that happen. But yeah, bro, man.
Damn,
Look, man. I
so
got
so so Valentine's that big a holiday in your household, huh?
Yeah, but see,
Your
my
lady run this
girl, the
shit
type
over
of
there.
girl.
Your lady running shit over there. She said no fights on
Nah, but look, man,
Valentine's.
let me tell you. Let me tell you, cause I went to the Earl fight for my anniversary. So I mean, my girl, the type of girl, she'll go ahead and bite on that, like and you know what I'm saying? You did Valentine's Day little getaway or something.
Yeah, a
So
little getaway to
I'm good on
Vegas.
that.
Get her the heart shaped Gucci, heart shaped jacuzzi in Vegas. Yeah, do the fight
Yeah,
week.
yeah. You already knew. How I'm coming. I like that narrative, Ness. I like that narrative.
Yeah, all you
Like
gotta
that,
do
you
is
hear
make
me?
sure that the hotel room is overlooking the strip. So you gave her a nice view. You know, in Vegas, all you gotta do is play one hand in casino, and all of a sudden you get a free steak dinner. You could do good. You could come off like, boy, you could come off looking like a knight in shining armor taking her to Vegas for
Man,
Valentine's.
I get come like a young Billy D. Williams. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? That's how I can come off right quick. You know what I'm saying? But I might. That's what I'm gonna fuck with. I like that. You did before the fight, man. We already know Wild is gonna stretch this dude out this time, man. Ain't no doubt in my mind about that. So I can't wait to see it. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make it, and that's my call. I'm going right back.
All right, yo, he hilarious. He take 2 minutes and a half to mom. That's my. I'm, he the 5 minute boomerang, my man right here. Jeez, Stone
Legend, man,
Bone for
legend.
sure this time.
What up, Stone Bone? What strain you smoking on today, bro? I know you got like 1,000 different strains over there.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I've been trimming since I've been back. So I'm just testing all different kinds of strains. This sour diesel animal cookies is one of the top ones that I had grew in a minute. Oh yeah, man. My bad. I was
That's
off.
favorite right there, boy. That's sour D. That's favorite.
Yeah, but that's mixed. That must be some real killer shit. That's just sour diesel animal cookies. I only had regular sour diesel. Damn.
Yeah, you can pull it up, check its lineage, man. It's pretty dope. And this shit I got called Mob Boss is a nice sativa strain for your sativa head. Hey, but man, that was a great interview with Lou DiBella, man, and I'm glad that he kept it classy with Wilder. You know what I mean, he wasn't on no hater shit. He was straight up about what happened. I mean, he wasn't straight up about what happened, but he was straight up about he ain't bitter about the situation. And He dropped some good jewels. Regis got a lot of options, so it all makes sense. If I was him, I'd probably stay at 140, try to get some shit like that, and then double back and try to get that top rank so I can get a bud or some shit like that. And good to hear Wilder out here, man. Good to hear he back. I wish it was probably like in March or something, man. Give us a little more time to build up the internet frenzy for it. But I'll take February. We can get that done. It's still next year, really, since it's still December. So we all good, man. We're just gonna get behind it. Make sure y'all keep doing videos for this, man. And y'all see Tank just missed weight, man. What the hell is going on? Then a melee breakout, man. So I know y'all got.
Yo, a lot of shit going on, man. Every time we're doing a show, some new news break. We went to Stainless, we went to Stone Bone, we went to Boniche, Pat and Beantown.
Pat.
Y'all hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Word. I'm excited for the fight. You know, I already got a Wilder in that one. Good to hear that it's actually gonna happen. I don't really understand why people all of a sudden are now like trying to say what's gonna happen after the fight when there's a two-way rematch in that fight on that contract. You know, so people for some reason are forgetting about that as well. That was a great interview with Lou DiBella.
Pat, my bad, Pat. Gotta cut you off. We have the trainer and manager of Deontay Wilder live on the show. Deas, how are you doing? We're first and foremost thanking you, obviously, for taking out the time to come on the program, talk a little bit of boxing with us. Congratulations on the fight announcement. Have you already been working towards game plan, or is today making it real because the announcement is official?
Oh man, glad to be on the show already, way ahead of time. You know, we knew after Ortiz that we were trying our best to get the Fury rematch, and so it was all about game planning and thinking ahead, and so I'm thrilled that the announcement has been made and we can go ahead and get into camp.
Now, it's announced Fox pay-per-view, ESPN plus pay-per-view. This is a historic moment, not only in the heavyweight division, but in boxing itself, where two global entities like this are coming together. What do you think this means for boxing, and what does it mean for you and Deontay?
Well, I think it means that when people work together, great things can happen. And even huge companies, and they can be really, possessive and egotistical and we're the big dog and you're this and we're that. Even entities like that, when they see the value of working together, they know there's enough for everybody. There's enough to go around. It can be so much bigger when everybody works together. And for me and Deontay, we're just thrilled because it gets Deontay's name, his face, his image, his brand. It gets all that out there on so much of a bigger platform than has ever been the case before.
Now, Jay, how's it going? Michael Gross here. I want to ask you, Freddie Roach, Abel Sanchez, Ben Davison, now Sugar Hill, and Andy Lee. What is y'all mindset of Fury? Just keep on bringing in different trainers over and over and over again.
Well, he can do what he wants. I mean, he knows his way around the ring. Ultimately, he's the guy in the ring. But he can do what he wants. We have a very stable, sound, efficient team, and we know each other so well. And we're small and close-knit, tight, and chemistry is a huge thing. And, as we saw with Brazil and Virgil Hunter, he's a great fighter, a great trainer, but, it takes time. It's not an instantaneous thing where you gel. You get to know each other over the course of time. So I don't know. It's not how I would do things, but he's a different kind of cat, and maybe he has reasons for this. Personally, I think the world of Ben Davidson. People will probably never know how much, time, effort, and love he and Fury put into each other, and over the course of time, they really developed that bond because he brought, to a large degree, Fury back from the lowest point in his life, not just boxing, but you're talking about a guy that was having suicidal thoughts, that was morbidly obese, had all kinds of substance abuse problems. Nobody was even thinking boxing. They were just thinking, can we keep him, is there anything we can do to keep him alive? And Ben was part of that entire reclamation project to get him back to feeling good about himself mentally and physically. And then the boxing came back into it. So I thought Ben did a great job. I hope that they remain friends because they really went through a lot together. So losing Ben, I think, is a big thing, but it doesn't affect us no matter what. No matter who he brings in, no matter who he stayed with or goes with, has nothing to do with how we approach things. We're looking for the best Tyson Fury, and we're gonna do what we do.
Now, Jay, obviously watching back on that first Wilder Fury, Wilder fans kind of wanted Wilder to cut the ring off. Is that something that is going to be worked on, or do you think that this time around cutting the ring won't be necessary because of the new game plan?
Well, Fury is he's not. You typically, when you cut the ring off, that means you're pursuing, and they're kind of boxing on the back foot, moving or retreating. But Fury he doesn't attack all the time, but he doesn't retreat all the time. He's a mixed bag. He changes things up constantly, sometimes within the same round, sometimes within the same minute inside of the same round. So it's very difficult because he doesn't really have any discernible patterns. So he's not the kind of guy that you say, we're gonna cut the ring off, because he may be in the center of the ring initiating, in which case you have to react to that. So there's a lot of different things that can come into play. For Deontay, I think the main thing, and he would tell you this, is the first time out, he was just so eager to impress, his biggest event of his life, and he wanted that knockout so bad that he probably forced it. He was kind of trying too hard, as it were. And anybody will tell you that when you try to hit a home run, you rarely accomplish that. It's just when you get back to what you do and you take the proper swing, that's when you hit the home run. And that's what he needs to do. Deontay just needs to fight within himself, and he'll be fine.
Now, I know this, Mike, 1 for 1, you good?
Yeah, I was going to ask how you felt about Anthony Joshua, offering his services to Tyson Fury for possible getting ready for the Wilder fight.
Oh, I don't know anything about that or any publicity stunt stuff. All I know is, this is the biggest fight in boxing. This is the biggest fight that can be made. It's two undefeated heavyweights, the lineal champ and the real champ, getting together, rematching from a tremendous fight that was held. And so anybody trying to inject their name into that or whatever, I don't have any thoughts or time to devote to that kind of thing. I'm all about the two guys that are getting in that ring, and the two guys that do want to lay it on the line, and the two guys that do want to fight the best. And that's why they chose each other, and that's Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury.
So you take it as a publicity stunt and him not really trying to help his countrymen or overthrow that American guy?
I have no idea, and it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I don't have really any thoughts on it. All I know is we're preparing for Tyson Fury, and that's the only name that that I'm here to talk about is the guy that's in front of us. Whatever he does to prepare himself, he can do. But we're getting ready because we know this is a great opportunity and a great challenge. I think a narrative. There's always a perception and reality, and there was a narrative that has been kind of put out, which was basically that Fury was winning the fight had it handily had it not been for the knockdowns, and I didn't think that at all during the fight as it was happening. And I thought the 115-111 for Deontay was accurate. I didn't think that when I saw the replay, I thought, well, maybe I'll see it differently on the replay. But I didn't see it differently on the replay either. I think I saw it pretty accurately there in the corner. I knew that Deontay had thrown about 100 punches more than Fury. Fury landed about 13 punches more than Deontay. Deontay threw 100 more. Fury landed 13 more. So that tells you right there Deontay was pressing the fight. But Fury's connect percentage was higher. But Deontay was certainly landing the harder punches and scored 2 knockdowns. So to me, when I added it all up, I thought we had the fight, regardless of whether it was stopped or not. I thought it was our fight. So I was disappointed that they called it a draw.
Now, Jay, do you take confidence in the rematch because you had that first look at Fury and now you have tape of Wilder and Fury? Is the second time better for you?
That's a great question. I think yes, and I'll tell you why. Number one, Deontay is really devastating in rematches because he has a very high ring IQ. He's able to make adjustments. It's once he sees you, it's in his computer. It's in his computer bank, and so he has a great feel for what you're going to do. The element of surprise is not there. He knows your biomechanics and your movements and everything. The second thing is Deontay did not score knockdowns in round 1 and 4. He scored knockdown in round 9 and 12. Well, that tells you right there that he was figuring Fury out. So it took a while to figure him out. Once he did, he scored knockdown in 9 and what should have, I thought, been a knockout but they scored a knockdown in 12. So it was at the end of the fight, is my point. So I think that shows that Fury is very confusing, but that Deontay had figured him out. And I think that we'll pick right up where we left off.
Will we be getting like a press conference with both fighters there, or are we just going to get this over like a digital flyer and like Wilder and Fury posting it on their IG?
I'm not sure exactly how all that's going to work out. I've been out of town and I'm just getting back, so I haven't caught up on exactly how. I'm typically not a big part of the press tour type stuff. Just because I've done that before, and you get there and it's all about the fighters, and it should be, and nobody really asked the trainers anything, and so I told my co-managers Al and Shelley, I was like, look, I would rather be at home setting up camp and getting the guys ready and getting the gym ready and doing all the things where I'm really useful, as opposed to traveling to another location and being there and getting asked, 0 to 1 or 2 questions. And the whole time that I'm out there, I'm thinking, what could I be doing, to get camp ready? Cause I'm a camp guy. That's my thing. And, I'd rather be working. So I don't know. I don't know exactly, what all is going to be, there. I'm sure they'll have several things, in the lead up. And, I'm only interested in those things as it relates to what kind of time it's going to take from camp. So in other words, if we've got sparring partners in and they meet Deontay at this location, I want to know when and where and all that so that I can make sure we get the proper work in that week.
Jay, so there's been overwhelming concern as to whether or not there's been enough time between announcement and fight. Obviously, you just said the part that you love is the preparation, getting the camp together, contacting the sparring partners, figuring out who you are bringing in. Do you feel that the time is adequate?
Oh yeah, I do, because you would really get a kick out of the way I do things, because it's so old school. It's laughable. Even my kids make fun of me with it, because it's I pull out all the charts and the old school calendars and all the things that they barely even sell, and I mark everything up and have everything written out. And so I did that on the calendar, and it came to be that we've got plenty of time. We've got our normal camp time. We start camp on the 31st. And, we control the calendar. The calendar doesn't control us. So we don't care if it's Christmas or New Year's or New Year's Eve or whatever. If it says we work, we work. And so we'll be in the gym New Year's Eve, and we'll be in the gym New Year's Day. And then we'll be bringing sparring partners in immediately thereafter. So the calendar lines up for us to have our normal work. And as far as the quick turnaround, I think that's a great thing for Deontay, because he likes a quick turnaround. He likes to stay active, and this is perfect. We had a month or so off, a little more than that. Enjoyed the holidays, and now we're getting back to work. So, if you think about it, the first time these two guys fought, everybody was saying Deontay was the more active guy, but the truth of the matter is that Fury had fought twice since Deontay had last fought. Well, this time Deontay will have fought most recently by 2.5 months, and I think that's a big advantage for us.
Jay, 2 questions for you. Where in the hell do you find a calendar at, and are you bringing in any sparring partners to mimic Fury?
Yeah, calendars are not as everybody uses their phones for that now, but you can still find some good old school calendars at the Barnes & Noble. They don't have the selection they used to have, so I don't get to pick the really cool calendars that I used to, enjoy trying to find the right one. But at the same time, you can find them. As far as sparring partners go, yeah, we're going to be bringing in a lot of guys. We got some new faces coming in. I looked at the guys we brought in for the last time we fought Fury, and some of those guys will be back. But then I'm also going to go with some new faces and some. It's going to be kind of really interesting. I'm going with some young, very athletic guys, and we're going to see how they do. But I think it's the main thing, the biggest mistake you can make when you're fighting a guy like Tyson Fury is to bring in a bunch of tall guys with just the height being your be all end all, because he's so much more than that. You could bring in a 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" statue, and you may as well you just may as well be wasting your time, because there's no relevance, because Fury is very athletic, very slick, very awkward. He has a lot of athleticism, and that's really the prevailing thing about him, is the athleticism. So I would rather bring in a 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guy that's very athletic before I would bring in a 6'9" statue, if that makes sense.
Jay, question kind of not necessarily on topic, but it is. Site fee wise, not the actual fee, but the location. We see that Anthony Joshua continues to get offers from exotic countries. When are we going to see Wilder go outside the box? He's always wanted Atlanta. He hasn't been able to kind of get that. He spoke about fighting out of the country. When do you see that? I know he's tied up with Fury for the next 2 fights, but is that still an option at this age? Because he is getting older, and he's starting to say 6 years, and he's done. So the clock is ticking.
Well, yeah. Sometimes it's a thing where it's in the later part of your career where those offers begin to make true financial sense, where other countries are like, wow, we really would like him here, before he retires, and they start thinking like that, so they start putting the money behind the thought process. But yeah, absolutely, Deontay's a world champion. He's always said that. He even on the way up, he fought in Mexico a couple of times, Puerto Rico a time. He fought in England. So he's always been willing to fight anywhere, wherever it made sense. I know that that it's just one of those things where you have to go where the fight, financially, where the fight can make the kind of money that can pay these guys what they're worth. That's really what it all comes down to. And sometimes other countries will, we've had offers from other countries, but the offers haven't been quite what we were looking for. And sometimes it has more to do with things other than just the money in and of itself, as far as the facilities and the, where you're staying, where you're working out, how you're getting there, what duration, those kind of things can come into play as well. And so we want Deontay to be as comfortable as he can. But yeah, to answer your question, absolutely, if the opportunity presents itself and it makes sense, he will fight anywhere.
Have you spoken to Deontay since he's been back from meeting the Pope? And if so, how was that conversation with him about meeting the Pope? Because on the outside looking in, I got to admit, you know what I'm saying, like that was kind of a big deal. Just knowing Deontay and knowing that I shook his hand and he shook the Pope hand, that's crazy.
Well, somebody said it best on the internet. They said, that his right hand, Deontay's right hand didn't need blessing, but he it's already blessed, and it got blessed again. So I'm expecting great things from the right hand going forward, being as how he met the Pope and got the blessing and all. But I tell you, it was just an amazing, once in a lifetime type of thing. I think only two other, Riddick Bowe and I think Muhammad Ali had actually met, the Pope, active Pope before. Deontay being the third. I just thought it was an amazing thing. And I sent a glove with him. I said, D, I know this is like I'm not a starstruck guy. I'm not a guy that goes around getting autographs and all that. I said, but if there's any way to get the Pope to sign me a glove, I said that would be really cool. So he told me he got it done. So I'm expecting to get that glove from Deontay sometime in the next week or two. But I think that's pretty cool. Not many people can say they have a glove signed by the Pope.
Definitely would be something to look forward to, man. Shout out to Deontay for getting it done. For remembering that. So again, internet loves to talk. So you had no issue with him going all the way to Italy and, so close to camp starting. Like you said, it starts on December 31st. All that is fine.
Well, yeah, no. Yeah, I didn't have an issue with it because it was in advance enough. It was I can't remember the date of it, but I remember it was basically mid-December, so we were still good. Of course, at this stage of his life and career, he travels, in a premium type seating, first class type situation. So it's not like he was crammed in the middle of a row with his knees in his chest or anything like that. He's able to stretch out and all that. So given all that, the opportunity was just so remarkable. And he said he got so much love over there from the fans in Italy and all that it was just really, I think, good for his energy, good for his soul to really feel that kind of an appreciative level, away from home, and to see how people were so excited and how much they love boxing and all that. It was good all the way around. I think the WBC kind of put the made the introductions and connected the dots, and but I just think it was great for Deontay, and I'm glad he did it because I think it just shows people how big that heavyweight champ is. The heavyweight champion of the world is a big deal. And I think somehow, some way, we've forgotten that over the years. But back in Muhammad Ali and, even Larry Holmes and Lennox and Mike and Evander. These guys, it was the worldwide thing, their recognition level. And when you meet the Pope, I mean, that doesn't happen every day. So I think that maybe in a lot of people's minds got them to realize, wow, this is a huge deal. This heavyweight championship is a huge thing.
So, Jay, with the quick turnaround from the Luis Ortiz fight to the Wilder Fury February 22nd, what are your concerns with the weight coming in on, what type of weight do you expect Wilder to come in? Last fight was 219, and the Fury fight was 209, and he claimed to be sick. This is also a training camp during the winter. What are we doing to make sure he doesn't get sick and he doesn't come in too light? Because Fury was just heavier than him.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I may have this wrong, but I remember, of course, he was sick for the first Ortiz fight. I don't know that he was sick for the first Fury fight. I think he was just light. I think he just wasn't eating enough, and nutrition was not as big a priority for him as it should have been. And I think he learned from that, and he realized that he has to make nutrition. He has to stop and slow down and say, you know what, I have to eat, even though he's not really a guy that operates like that. But Deontay's the kind of guy that could go a day or a day and a half and just be so busy. He just hadn't really thought about stopping and eating, and he has to realize, and he did realize, that he's got to get that right, because that's an important part of staying healthy and not getting sick is nutrition and getting your rest and all those things. That's why after the Fury fight, when he said he wanted to go back to the basics, I thought it was the greatest thing ever, because the basics don't just mean technique in boxing. It also means living, your life in such a way where you're getting your rest, you're getting your nutrition, and all that as well. And he did that, and you saw the results of the fight with Brazil. And so when you add that up, I told him, I was like, that just shows you how good you can be when you're doing all those little things right. There's no sense in making a 1 or 2 round fight into a 8 or 10 round fight. Let's do all the little things right, and these fights will be short. And you see he improved upon his performance with Ortiz from fight 1 to fight 2. He got Brazil out of there in 1. So we're looking forward to a spectacular performance against Fury.
Have you guys given any thought that Fury may pull out, or Fury may not be ready for that fight because he has the cut over his eye? So we still know that's still a possibility. And we know revisionist history. Last time he was in a rematch with Vlad, he did not go through with it.
There's things, you can only control what you can control. I feel like he's definitely on. He's a fighter. He's a fighting man. It's in his blood. I don't expect that there will be any reason for him, to pull out of the fight. The cut, I was concerned really more from the wrestling standpoint. Would there be an even though it's choreographed, you certainly could still catch an errant elbow or something that could reopen that cut. But fortunately, he's good. And now, since he fought, mid-September? So you got mid-October, mid-November, mid-December. He's coming up on almost 4 months since that cut. So if he should be A-okay. So I don't see any reason to think he wouldn't. I think he's excited about the fight, and I think Tyson Fury likes nothing more than being the underdog, because he's always shown the ability to rise to the occasion. When people think he couldn't do something, that's when he's at his best. And so that's the Fury we've got to prepare for. He's never going to do as well as a massive favorite. I knew when it came to somebody like Otto Wallin that was a tougher fight than people thought. And he was this massive favorite. And I said, this is going to be a tough fight. And it certainly was. But when he's the underdog, he's always at his best. And so that's what we've got to prepare for.
So there's no concerns with the Alabama winters and possibly getting sick?
No. I mean, anything can happen to anybody, you, me, or Fury, or Wilder, or whatever. But I would certainly believe that Alabama winners, are milder than London or Detroit or wherever it is they're going to camp, California or wherever. I think I'd roll the dice with Alabama. Winners are usually fairly mild, so we're not going to be running through 3 feet of snow. I can assure you of that.
And what do you think about Javon Hill, a.k.a. Sugar Hill, stepping in, and Andy Lee being a co-trainer as well?
I don't know a lot. I know Javon. I know he's got ties back to Emmanuel as a relative, and that he worked with Manny, and also I guess with Jonathan Banks, who I'm friends with. But I don't know him as well. And of course, Andy Lee was a very good fighter, and he fought a lot of his career out of Kronk, and a really, really good southpaw. So, but I don't know. I don't know enough about him to really give a lot of an opinion, other than they've always done really good work, as best I've ever been able to tell. But our thing is we have to focus on what we're doing. That doesn't really matter what Fury's doing and who he's got. It matters more that we do what we do, and as long as we do that, we'll be in great shape. We'll be fine.
Is there will you guys be bringing in any kind of southpaw sparring? Because I know Fury's not a southpaw, but in his rematch with Derek Chisora, he changed southpaw for that whole fight. Now he's going to Sugar Hill, somebody who trained Adonis Stevenson, a big, powerful southpaw. So would that be any kind of game plan going into this camp?
He switched southpaw in the Wallin fight too, though.
Okay, then. I mean, so yeah.
Well, if you chart him, Fury spends approximately 28% of the time as a southpaw, and so he's certainly capable of doing that, and he's capable of doing it very well. The main thing is, what they have to figure is it worth it? By going southpaw, he's putting that eye that was cut about 5 inches closer to us. So that's something they've got to figure out, if that's worth that risk or not. That's their call. We deal with whatever, whatever they do, we're going to deal with. So that's really, the big question is, if he goes southpaw, he's, the gamble he's taking is he's putting that eye 4 to 5 inches closer to Deontay Wilder. So that could be problematic. But yeah, to answer your question, we will certainly do approximately 25 to 30% of our sparring will be with guys working as southpaw. So we will have some southpaw help in camp for sure. And if he turns southpaw, it'll be nothing that Deontay's not used to, because we just did an entire camp with getting ready for Ortiz with all southpaw sparring, and then 25 to 30% of this camp will be southpaw sparring. So if he does that, we'll be ready for it.
So is the risk worth the reward to invest into the body to try and slow down Fury from all this herky-jerky, get out of, using the ring and stuff? Or is it too much danger in a big man going to the body?
No, I think there's always going to be times where you can do that, and you should go to the body, and you can do that without leaving yourself open. The thing you don't want to do as a tall guy, and I think this is what you're talking about, is stand very tall and then jab or right hand downward at that, at an angle, and leave yourself open for a counter. I think there are times when it's beneficial, to get that kind of body work in, and even if you're a guy can move his head all he wants, but he can't move his chest. He can't, his chest, his arms, all that is very hittable, and you can do those things without compromising your position or leaving yourself open. So there's a lot of value to that. But yeah, he's a tough guy to fight all the way around. But I think that is certainly something that we'll be working on.
Now you spoke about Deontay taking 9 rounds to figure out Fury, and then that was confirmed because he knocked him down, and then he was able to knock him down again in the 12th. In the Luis Ortiz fight, it took him about 6 rounds to figure out Luis Ortiz in the rematch, but he was down on the scorecards. Is that the type of game plan that you're willing to risk with Fury, who's a better boxer and was able to get up? Or is it style make fights? That was for Luis Ortiz. The game plan will be different for Fury.
The game plan would be different. The thing about Ortiz, and Deontay was so smart and intelligent about how he went about it. The thing about Ortiz is, if you put him on a scale, he's going to start he's going to start at 100%. And then as the fight goes on, he starts wearing down. Some of the steam comes off his shots as the rounds go by. So the worst thing you could do with a guy like Ortiz is to go out and try to trade bombs with him while he's at full strength. We know that Deontay gets stronger and stronger. So if you look at that matchup, you got one guy that gets stronger and stronger, another guy that gets weaker and weaker as the fight goes on. So why would you not take your time, burn a little steam off the guy, and then if you're going to trade with him, trade when it's beneficial to you. And that's what Deontay did. Plus, a lot of times when you're lining somebody up, especially somebody as good as Ortiz, he doesn't want you to hit him, so he's doing everything for you not to hit him. And so it's not easy to get the positioning just right and the spacing and the timing and the distance and all those intricate things. It's not easy to get that just right where you can land the shots you're trying to land. And of course, he doesn't want you to land those shots. So what you have to do is position yourself. Now, Deontay may have lost some rounds while he was getting that position right, but little by little, he was getting his positioning right. So I guess what I'm saying is there's battles and there's wars. The battles are like rounds. So, yeah, if you're losing a few of the battles, if you're losing a few of the rounds, that's okay if you're getting your positioning right to win the war. And that's what he was doing. So with Fury, it's a little bit different. I think you do have to be more active with a guy like Fury because, like I said, he doesn't really have a discernible pattern. But with Fury, it's I think you have to invest more early than you would with a guy like Ortiz.
And my final question: do you believe that Fury would activate this rematch clause after this fight, or do you see this fight, Wilder winning in normal Wilder fashion, and Fury not wanting an immediate rematch?
Well, the thing is, you've got a couple of issues there. Number one is, does the guy want a rematch? Of course, our focus is this first, this fight. This is regardless, this is the one we're dealing with, and we're not worried about what happens after. But I will say there's 2 issues to deal with. Number one is, does the guy want to tee it up again and enforce a rematch clause? And number 2 is, where does the public stand on the issue? So, if you had, you had Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks, and they had a rematch clause, and Michael Spinks may have said, "I'm enforcing, I want my rematch," and but people would say, well, will people buy that fight because Mike knocked him out in 91 seconds? So there's the 2 issues: is how does the guy want it, and does the public want it? That's really the 2 issues, and those are things that we won't know until after the fight. So our thing is, let's get in there and let's put on a spectacular show. I mean, Deontay is the king of the heavyweight division. I don't think there's a person on earth, unless they're just a hater, unless they're just really ignorant or really just an absolute, hater. I don't think there's a human on earth that knows boxing that if you said, who's the most exciting heavyweight, I feel like they would say Wilder without even any question. And if you say, who's must-see TV, Wilder. Who's the most electrifying guy in the division? Wilder. Who's the guy you can't blink? You can't put your cell phone. You can't drop your cell phone. You can't go to the bathroom. You can't go to the concession stand. Like, the guy that anything can happen at any second. And it's all Wilder. There's nobody else in the division like him, and there hasn't been anybody else in the division like him for a long, long time. So I really think people should appreciate him while he's here. And number two, I think, people should realize that they're witnessing something extraordinary. I think they're going to appreciate him when his career is over, but I wish that he would get, continue to get bigger stages and bigger love and bigger platforms, because it's a remarkable thing that's happening right now. Somebody with that many wins and no losses and that many knockouts, it's really quite a once in a generation thing, and we're here, like we're here seeing it now. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, Jay, man, I want to thank you, obviously, for your time. Always appreciate you coming on the show, and we're definitely appreciative of your time. We hope that you put together a perfect game plan, a great camp, and some great sparring partners. Wish you guys nothing but the best, but catch you on the next one.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Trainer, world-renowned trainer of Deontay Wilder, Jay Deas. Mike, what did you think?
Awesome interview, man. Awesome interview. I'm glad they're bringing in Southpaw Sparring just in case Fury decides to employ that tactic. And I'm glad he's bringing in new guys, too, to spruce it up a little bit.
Yes, that was some interesting information, man. I like that. We're going out to...
Hold on, whoa. We got some super chats that I want to get to right quick.
Oh, we got some love. Yes.
Yeah, YY9302010 ain't say nothing, just showing love. Midwest Boxing says, Midwest in here already. Step your game up, says Ray Ramon in this bitch. Squad up. TBV for life. Big ups my guy Ray Ramon, man, off IG. And he come back with another one. Ray Ramon here, 600 plus. Get them likes up. Yes, sir. YY9302010 coming back with another one. No judges needed this time. Hashtag Bum Squad. #1 heavyweight. The Killer 1911 all the way in Sweden. He says Tyson Fury versus Klitschko was the worst fight ever. AJ versus Ruiz too? Hold my beer. Okay. I don't know what you mean by that. Well,
I mean, I guess it
is he trying to say that AJ and Ruiz too was a bad fight?
Yeah.
Damn. That's harsh.
But
man.
so did Lou. Lou said that it wasn't exciting. He said it live on the show.
Yeah, it wasn't exciting.
But he said he respected him. He said he did what he had to do, but he said it wasn't exciting.
It still was that element of suspense all the way through that fight, because you just had to think, like, what if Andy lands that shot again?
Bruh, all I could think of is AJ trying that style on Wilder. Like, why? Like, that's not what we here for. This is the heavyweight division. We already got Fury dancing around the ring. Now you about to dance too? A lot of tap dancers in the UK, I'm telling you.
Got one. A lot of tap. Go ahead, bro.
We going out to LTs to talk to us.
They got that Josh Kelly style down peck on this.
Josh Kelly? What you mean? You mean that Billy Joe? They on them toes, man. LTs, what up, dog?
I'm just listening today. I'm just listening.
All right. We going out to Mastermind in Texas. Big Super Max.
Boxingvoice.com. Oloki, you are next, my friend. Por eso lo vuelvo a repetir. La era del Canelo es la mejor porque peleó con los mejores. La suerte es para los mediocres, my friend.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yo, what up, Mike and Ness? Man, good interviews, guys. Appreciate the show. Oh man, I was never really worried about the fight being made because we've been hearing about February 22nd. But it is nice to finally have it official. I'm super excited for this fight because to me it's really a toss-up fight. Because of both of their last performances, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Traditionally, the boxer does better, but we like we said before, Wilder's not the traditional puncher, so that's always interesting. And I found it interesting that on the PBC poster, they've actually acknowledged WBO again under Tyson Fury's name. So that's kind of an interesting.
Yeah, but they acknowledge it in the past tense. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, former. That's the former, but still, they hadn't even acknowledged it on any other sense. So that was kind of interesting to me. But yeah, man, to me this is a toss-up kind of fight, and I just can't wait, man. We're gonna have a big fight party here in Texas for it. And watch it with all the family getting together. So man, I can't wait, bro.
All right, champ. CYP, Boomerang.
What up, CY to the P?
What up, man? Shout out to Deas, shout out to Wilder, shout out to Bomb Squad, shout out to TBV. Reason why I'm shouting y'all out is because those are the people who come on this show and give us content. Those are the people who represent TBV. It's funny because the UK come here like little bitches every time they hear something about Wilder or something related to Wilder, and they go in their comment section talking shit every day. The shit is starting to get weird. I ain't talking about getting bad. The shit's getting weird because where the fuck is AJ on the show? Where the fuck is Eddie Hearn on the show? Like, you guys are always biting the hand that fucking feeds you because you come here every single day, which means that you need this medicine. You need this medicine. So I got the needle for your. No, I ain't got it for your arm. I'll put the needle in your motherfucking ass because that's where y'all seem to like it, in your ass. Y'all disappeared when AJ got his motherfucking ass kicked. Y'all wasn't even man enough to stick around for the ass whooping that y'all was gonna get. Then as soon as he get his belts back, y'all come back. This is the reason why I go hard on y'all, and I ain't gonna never fucking stop. Y'all need fucking help, and I'm here to help you. CYP out.
You can expect a nice, entertaining call from CYP. I'm telling you. Boomerang. No.
What up, You heard me?
Look, man, that was a good interview. You heard me? That's how we giving it up at TBV.
Thank you.
Bomb Squad. Yeah, man, you already know, man. You know how we get down over here. Bomb Squad, bro. It's gonna be the same outcome with every other rematch that we done seen this man in. I don't know how the fight gonna go exactly. I ain't gonna call that shit. But one thing I do know that fucking right hand gonna land, bruh. And that motherfucker gonna be looking up again, and we're gonna have a different referee this time. It ain't gonna be no long ass count. We're gonna give him a chance to
Yeah.
get up, bro.
You know they ain't bringing Jack Reese ass back. He done.
Man, saying that I wouldn't be surprised. Man, Jack Reed's gonna be over there in Panama, across the
Robert Bird.
street from the hotel. You know, Panama can't go in the hotel no more. You dig? He gotta watch the fight from a ball across the street. Him and Jack Reed's gonna be sitting together. But but yeah, man, that man, we already know how this shit gonna go, man. A run right hand, he out. You dig? And look, Josh said give his call to his brother. You heard me? Give the Jeremy. Dig? I'm out.
Already. I got you. Yeah, man. I don't know who Panama is, but Panama banned too.
We
He,
might. Who's Panama? We might
he
not be
said,
able to get that was Bob just called me, man. We gonna have to, this is gonna be a long one right here. We working. See what I'm saying? He FaceTime me.
yeah. How's it going there, Nestor?
Bob FaceTime me, bro. That shit
what?
was
What
hilarious.
Bob at? He in
I
Vegas?
don't know. He
Oh,
FaceTime
okay.
me. I seen a hotel room, beige walls and shit.
Yeah.
It would have been dope to see a joint in his hand. Yo, everybody on Skype, y'all about to not hear us because we need to take this line. Thank you, because Blog Talk is done, man, and I can't three-way him.
No problem, no problem, ladies and gentlemen. We have another special guest for you guys. Legendary promoter, you know what I'm saying? Been around with some of the best to ever do it. Ali, Leonard, Crawford, you know what I'm saying? Mayweather, all of them. Bob Arum. And man, I think the questions that we need to ask Bob Arum is probably going to be about the promotion. You know what I'm saying? What was the thought process of them coming out? I thought somebody said something. But the thought process of them coming out and doing it like straight to like the IG and things like that. And is there going to be a official press conference? You know what I'm saying? Like when, where, how many? Is there going to be just one city? You know what I'm saying? Like how you guys are going to put this together? And I want to know like the time frame, like 8 weeks. 8 weeks is a short amount of time to try to promote this fight and make it as big and as big as you say it is, because you've been talking about 2 million plus buys, so that's a lot of buys for a pay-per-view fight, and that's like almost going 10 times what they did the first time. So yeah, man, it's a lot of questions to ask about.
I don't know. I tried to hit him back. That's probably why he FaceTime. He just texted me say he in London, but he got an iPhone though. We should be good. I don't know.
Yeah, we should be okay if he got an iPhone.
I know, but if he hits me back, I'll connect him. If not, man, another day, another show. Who was on at the time?
Oh man, you give me the line, I'll lie to you easily.
We got to NO though. We got to go to Bond Boxing.
What up, Bond?
All right, he's working. So Stainless
in Detroit.
All right. Well, we're going to California.
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, shout out to the boxing guys, man. Shout out to the boxing guys for TBV, and shout out to the boxing guys for this fight being finally official, announced. Yo, I got the name for the card. This one should be on the billboard. The Gypsy King versus the King of Wakanda. Clash of the Titans. What y'all think? That's dope, right?
I'll take it.
Yo, we already know what's going to happen. Wilder going to hit him with that vibranium. Mike, you finish the rest.
To crack his motherfucking, what is it? Cranium.
That's right. And that's on point. Come on, Mike. Yo, shout out to CBB, man, pound for pound. Number one. Hit those thumbs up, man. Great interviews. I love the one with Lou DiBella the most. Man, the dude keeps it 100. But he been saying on what Georgie Porgy been saying all along, man. This shit is corrupt. The sport that we love, I hate to say it, is corrupt. It's corrupt. Man, I was just surprised how blatantly he was just saying how even the judges are tied in with the networks, or the belts and all kind of shit, man. So we take a few steps up in this sport, man. But man, we got a lot more to do, man, to make sure it's tight and it's all right, man. But TBV, hit those thumbs up. You're listening to the number one pound for pound boxing podcast, the voice of the people. There is no equal. I'm out.
Thanks for calling in, Info Joe. We going out to Idris in the UK.
Yes. Wagwan, people.
Wagwan.
What up?
What you say, man? Hey, Mike, what's good, man? You know what it is, isn't it? Yeah. Of course I'm the man. Hey, listen, Ness, how long have I got? Hey, today marks the anniversary of my 5 years of TBV, innit? So you have to give me like 25 minutes.
Whoa.
Oh, all right.
Listen,
yeah.
I'll go on my calendar, man. My phone just popped up and said, yo.
We're going to sprinkle it over 25 shows. Got you.
Listen, who's on there? Deas was you talking to?
Yeah, Deas, Lou DiBella.
Man, fuck all that, man. Listen, this is our year, innit? 2020. Get to know, innit? That's what I'm trying to say. Wilder, he's going down. Third fight, he's going down. Everybody he fights, he's going down. Listen, Ness, I don't like that picture you put up about that Thanos thing, innit? What's it, him and them UK guys? Bruv, how many of them has he fought? He fought one, and he lost. Realistically, let's get real.
Yo,
You know
I
what I
be
mean?
having that Instagram popping. They hate that
I'm not gonna lie.
Instagram.
I'm not gonna lie. The TBV's Instagram is my favorite page on Instagram. He needs a bit more recognition, man. Just carry on with them things, innit? But listen, Mike. I swear to you, I was gonna come out there, man. I wanna come out to this fight so badly. What are you man doing for that weekend?
Mike going out there. Mike trying to push shit around, man. Mike shoveling
Yes,
shit
you going out
around.
there.
I mean, if Mike go, I go. Simple as that.
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, let me tell you. Let me talk boxing a little bit. Yeah, what's that trainer, Sugar Hill? Listen, I wouldn't take too much notice of, sons and nephews and shit of, like, realistically, they're not the same, man. Dominic Ingle will never be Brendan Ingle. This guy will never be whatever this guy is. The only guy I give ratings to is probably Shane McGuigan. Is just better than his dad, but most of them, they're just their pops' sons, in it, like that. Just get breeding. You know who I think will be good?
How you gonna say they pop sons? Idris, man, thanks for calling in, and you did get an extra 30 seconds there, buddy. We were generous there. 7, talk to me.
What up, 7?
7, not all right. He's working. So
super chat coming in then from the guy 7 himself. Ask Jay about body work in the Wilder Fury 2 rematch. Next, cover that for you. The Killer 1911. Next, ask him about the body work so we can soften that bitch up before we stop him and send him back to the UK trailer park. Damn.
Killer.
That nigga right there, he went all in. The UK trailer park.
I know, he from Sweden. They got how you even relate to that?
Oh, no. And KB097 says, free walkout with that dog face on. Oh, my God. If he walk out to the fight with that the dog shit on the fucking... man.
he gonna make a Snapchat emoji mask? Damn. Let me get out to Josh in North Carolina.
What up? What it is? What it do? What it's gonna be? TBV.
What up?
How y'all doing?
Chilling.
Hello? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Hey, yo, this what I want to see, man. Hey, man, goddamn, when Fury and Wilder fight, I hope my boy Wilder coming in at 225 and work that body more. And I think this fight will be over in 6 rounds. 6 motherfucking rounds.
You on a JP shit. I want my big black Terminator back.
Hey, man.
I'm sorry.
I have a feeling this was going to happen, my nigga.
At JP.
Hey, but for real, that's what I think is going to happen. And another thing, after Wilder get done with Fury, I don't know where his next fight. I hope his next fight is out of the country, but I wouldn't mind seeing him and AJ fight in Saudi Arabia for that motherfucking bag. Oh, yeah, and Mike, I hate to say it, fuck Bud Crawford, he a bitch. I'm out. Holla at you, TV.
I bet you won't get in the ring with him. Yeah, nigga, talk that shit to his face.
We went to ride an A70?
No, sir.
Well, then
shout
ride an A70.
Got me over here thinking about my fucking parlays this weekend.
Man, I thought you guys forgot about me, man, because I told you to come back to me. So, real quick, I've always said what Wilder trainer said, that Fury had, everybody was talking about Fury coming off this layoff as if Wilder was the first fight back, like Mayweather did with Marquez or somebody like that, where he came fresh off the street and fought the best pound for pound. Fury had 17 rounds that year. Wilder only had 10, and he was off for like 8-9 months. And that's always been my statement. And through 9 rounds, it took Wilder time to catch up with him because he had been out the ring for 8-9 months. Now, there's no excuse, but that's it. That was a fact, and I'm glad he pointed that out, that I wasn't the only one thinking about that part of it because people tried to play it. The next thing I'll say, this is praise for TBV, the rest of my call. That first interview, you guys keep doing what you're doing. I like the fact that you aren't afraid to ask the tough questions. You guys was questioning the guy down from the boxing, whoever he was from, IBA, WBA, IBO, wherever. You got Ness, you was hard on him. Mike, you weren't afraid to ask DiBella the tough questions today. That shit is dope, man. I left you a 5-star review. I don't know if you read it, Ted Ness, but that's kind of what I was talking about. I used to watch The Breakfast Club because Charlamagne would hold people accountable. They got away from that shit. At some point, somebody gonna sign you guys. I already know what's gonna happen. When they sign you guys, don't change who the fuck you are. Keep asking the tough questions. Keep putting your foot on people's throat and doing it the right way. And people gonna keep watching, man. You guys will get more followers, man. Great interviews today. That's my call.
All right. Hey, Mike, you know what? You got a little better relationship with Teofimo, man. You gotta get Teofimo because we gotta test his metal. See if after
I've been trying.
Oh, see, I was just about my senses about to say test his metal. See if after he won that strap, is he still accessible?
I was trying before, you know what I'm saying? He was, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'll get back on probably a little bit more strenuous, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like you for the most part, like, cause we should be getting Tony Harrison on, you know what I'm saying? I told him to give him a week or two, you know what I'm saying? But get his head clear, and we'd love to have him on. So
I seen a Charlo too roll back to you. What up? He coming on or what?
Man, you know how to do it, man. During the holidays, you just gotta keep those.
Mike I seen you hustling, man. I seen you hustling,
you know
man.
Make sure they know it ain't just about the motherfucking.
Listen, you know what my man Wilder said. Wilder gonna end up being a prophet. That's why they call us fanboys over here. But what he said, what's understood don't need to be explained, man. So I know what you was doing, and salute to you. Just know I seen that you the truth. Touch potential. Talk to us.
Hear me?
We do.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to this fight, man. Happy that it's announced. I'm surprised it wasn't the 20. Is it the 29th? Surprised 22nd is giving himself even less time to prepare. But yeah, I think you're looking at the new world champion coming in, a proper world champion, not this whatever lineal title. But I just got only reason being I love Wilder. I like Wilder as a fighter, but I can't see Wilder winning a decision, and I think this is going to go to the judges. And if it goes to the judges, Wilder loses. I could see him knocking down Fury, but no more than once. And I can see Fury getting up because he's a gypsy. So yeah, decision. And if it's on a decision, it's impossible for Wilder to win on a decision. So it can only go that way. He's that crazy type of boxer where he has to knock out his opponent every single time, and we know from all sports that's just never going to happen. You cannot knock out every single opponent, especially as your opponents get better in quality than some of the people who's fought in the past. So he'll be back, and I'm sure the three of them will be having battles to come. But yeah, this is Fury's time to shine. I think I like the fact that he's going with an American trainer, Krog Gym. That Rocky kind of style. So yeah, we'll see what's up, man. But I just can't see Wilder decision in any major fighter. So
Gangster, bruv, gangster. No, seriously, yo, to do that on that level, Anizu, cameras on that level, that's a yo. And the facial expression, bruh, the face, dog. That wasn't no. Let me just, get something off my chest. Nah, that was like, let me teach you a lesson, bruh. That was smack.
Oh my God.
That was. See, I'm old. That was classic smack DVD. I can't, man. That's crazy.
It's a video going around.
No, I've been heard the story that it was a video, and wow.
But what's understood, like you said, ain't got to be talked about. Let's go and get you some more callers.
Wow, Lil Feezy, what up? Wow.
Oh, Feezy, what up, baby? Talk to me.
Nah, shit, man. What's good? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, got this baby powder in my hand right now.
You might want to smack yourself for that Crawford bullshit, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Nah, listen though, man. I'm glad. The fight is being made. You know what I'm saying? They announced it. I'm glad for it. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to see Deontay Wilder knock Tyson Fury ass smooth the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Decapitation season. But I'm gonna keep my call short and sweet. But before I go, Bomb Squad. It's my call and I'm out.
Bruh, damn. Pat, we got the Pat, we got
we got the
Killer,
Pat.
we got the teaser.
JR, got to
Oh shit, we got Mr. PBC in the building.
Oh shit.
About time, you late, champ. The champ made the announcement. Where you been at?
Mr. PBC, baby.
Boxingvoice.com. I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo, Don, what's up, man?
Yeah, let me get my boomerang 2 times on this.
He ain't get the
what's good, Mike?
What's up?
Man.
I see you ain't in the loop. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't tell us that
Man,
Wilder was going on or
I
something.
was at work today. I pressed 1 and then it didn't go through, and then I pressed it again and said I'm on the queue. So I don't know. This was a beautiful day for TBV, just like it's gonna be a beautiful day in the neighborhood for PBC. Tyson Fury is really ready for it. I mean, let's see it. Is his family cooking him dinner enough to want to fight Deontay Wilder? Is his wife not feeling so nervous for this? Let's see. Is he really going to pull through? Because he had the same rematch with, what's his name, Klitschko. So, and
Stop putting that
accepted it and
negative
went
energy
through
in the
it.
air. Stop putting that negative energy in the
I'm
air.
just saying. I'm sorry.
Don't you want the fight?
But this is a beautiful day, though. I mean, I know Deontay Wilder's ready, and there's so many obstacles this can go through. This can be Tyson Fury saying he can knock Deontay Wilder out. So is he going to bring that same fight like Anthony Joshua did to the dude who beat him up? So we're going to see how this is really going to go down, and I can't wait to have my family together. We got the Deontay Wilder T-shirts. We all the way through with it, you know. I'm ready to pay for it on the app. I wonder, is it going to be on ESPN?
It's on Fox app. It's on Fox app and ESPN app, and it's on cable television. And you could get tickets on Ticketmaster and AXS. Access, I think it's called. Yeah.
You got
www.axs.com or at www.mgm.com. What you said? Do I got?
Okay. Do you got ESPN?
Yeah, I got ESPN.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, I'm gonna have to get, because I got this Disney Plus, and then I heard
then you
that
get
if
it.
you get the
Nah,
bundle.
you get it. You get it if you got Disney Plus. You get the bundle with Hulu or something, but you got to get it through Hulu. That's the whack part. You could get Disney Plus.
But man, I'm ready for this fight.
You could get Disney Plus,
This is how
Hulu.
DAZN needs to do it. Let's be real, Ness. This is how DAZN needs to do it.
What?
If these niggas is doing it, they should do it like this. Because, I mean, everybody wants to see it. It shouldn't be on just one platform. This is
This is a pay-per-view, so DAZN could do this. The same thing that well, no, they can't, because they need subscriptions. You know what I mean? See, ESPN.
Exactly. That's what
I mean, they could do, but they could do a DAZN pay-per-view. So you buy it from within the app, and you just your subscribers gonna have to pay a separate fee.
But they need a TV network, though, right?
Nah. They got the TV signal, man. They got the signal. They broadcast out. They just got to come up with a back end deal, you know. But I could see that. I could see them doing the same thing ESPN Plus doing. ESPN Plus is supposed to be a subscription, and they still charging us for the pay-per-view. So why can't DAZN when they time come? We going to Edward in Alabama. Talk to me, Edward. I know that's Edward. You got to unmute yourself, Edward. All right, that sucks. I guess that's that. And we went to CYP. We went to NO, Bond, Stainless, everybody. All right, we up out of here.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's over. And Killer. All right. Next GTO, Instagram and Twitter. I'm gonna try Edward one more time. He been here forever. Edward in Alabama. Going once, twice. All right. Yeah, that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter.
Follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross2312. You can follow me on YouTube at Mike on Sports. Peace out.
Do say.